Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to the finale of our four-part plus intro excitement that is Haunted West, a town called Hope. And I am overjoyed to see you all here today. I hope you're doing well. How are you? What is new? What is exciting? What's the excitement, partners? I hope you're doing it all. So we are playing the game Haunted West by Chris Spivey and Darker Hue Studios, which is this excitement right here. It is a RPG that is a sort of alternate history Weird West. You might be able to tell it might be a little bit weird by the alien spaceship right there on the cover next to all of our exciting Western characters. And this 800-page tome is amazing in all of the resources it has. It is, so first off, I don't know if you know this. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. Chris Spivey is amazing when it comes to research. This is so lovingly and wonderfully done. If you don't know anything about the Old West, you will know it. You'll get everything you need to know in this book. It's pretty amazing. They also have a really cool town generation system where you can generate towns. For a GM, there are so many wonderful, wonderful resources here. It has an amazing life path character creation system, which you can see in our session 0, which is really fun. It is a pretty intuitive system. It's neat. It's interesting. It does alternate history in a really cool way. And you can get it from Darker Hue Studios. You can get the physical copy from Darker Hue Studios. And I saw a tweet that said it will start being distributed by Indie Press Revolution, which is pretty cool. And you can get the Roll20 version of this. It's available for pre-order for Roll20, and that will be coming out soon, actually. What is it? It's currently March. It'll be coming out very soon. So I think second quarter. So actually, who knows? Like, just around the corner, it will be here, and that will give you the Roll20 version with all the different sort of bits and pieces. There is a character sheet right now available for Roll20 if you want to check it out. It's got all the goodness right there, and I would say go explore, have fun. We are going to be doing the exact same thing, but with the last session of this amazing opener with this amazing cast, and I would like to, if you do not mind, introduce the amazing cast, have them say who they are playing, and where. Oh, I have to get my. I'm a GM, so I need my reporter's notebook where I keep all of my notes about all the things that all the ways in which I've tortured them so desperately, terribly. So, if you could tell me who you are, who you're playing, and what do you remember happening last week? That will be my question. And I would like to start with Danny, who's not currently here, who plays Raiden. Brutal Dan, who's amazing and wonderful, and you should absolutely, without a doubt, follow him and check him out. He's also the community manager here on Roll20, and just a wonderful human being who sadly cannot be here right now, but give him all of your good thoughts. So, his character was knocked unconscious by his evil twin, because he has an evil twin, and then he went off to try to go and fix something, but we don't know where he is. That is where his character Raiden is. So let's go right on over to you know who I would like to introduce Quinn first, because we haven't done that recently. So Quinn, who's over there. Quinn, who are you? Who are you playing? And according to your character, what happened last week?
Quinn Murphy. And I design games and talk about them a lot on Twitter. I am playing Moses Jackson, and according to Moses, what happened last week is, two things. One, his heart was broken, right? Like, do you ever realize the second you lost something, how much you needed it, how much you missed it, how much you loved it, right? He realized, he'd always respected and cared for Hattie, right? But he didn't know just what a giant she was in his own life until she passed. And so now He's walking out of there with Belle, thinking, this is the other thing that he's thinking about what happened, is that these spirits have got it flipped, right? This is a situation has to change right now, and it's gonna.
Yeah. Ooh, people. Moses, who I don't know if he's told you or not, and really he may not have told you, is a bit of a demonologist. You know, he I mean, that is what I've heard. That's what I've heard. I've heard that he sometimes summons demons, and sometimes those demons are saucy and want to cause trouble, because that's kind of how demons are. And yeah, last week, one of the well, there's a bit of a debate about who was the oldest member of the community of the town called Hope, but Miss Hattie said that she was, and she gave up her life essence to keep as much of the town safe from a withering sort of vampire as possible. Vampires, creatures called Obaifu, who are vampiric sort of creatures who drain the life of people and everything around them. And she gave her life to keep as much of the town undrained as possible. So speaking of people who were there in the room when Hattie died, and if I remember correctly, Miss Hattie gave Moses a small obsidian knife, very small, like a kind of a curved knife that you would, you know, those kinds of slightly curved knives. They're kind of like I think you use them to for fish descaling fish. Do you know what I mean? They're kind of slightly curved. They've got like a ring on them, right? And you would sort of hold them like you'd put the ring on, like there's like a loop. Put your finger through the loop. Put your thumb on the back of this sort of curved blade, and you can use it to scale fish. And it's obsidian. It's this little sort of old sort of obsidian sort of blade. And she also gave a wooden necklace that is quite old, that had written in a name crossed out and a name written in, and the name belonged to Belle, because Belle was also in this room, this small room, when Miss Hattie died. And so I will pass it over to Honey to talk about who she is, who her character is, and what happened last week according to her character.
Hello everybody, I am Honey, aka Honey and Dice. I run games, write games, play games, but mostly I'm everybody's biggest cheerleader. I play Ma Belle, but I play Belle, the hunter. And according to Belle, Nari got engaged, and everybody was supposed to pretend like it was a secret, because nobody knew. Her bestie started acting real strange, but she ain't had any time to really figure that out. Quickly surmised that was not her best friend, but people stole the cows, did not get paid enough for the physical consequences to the play stupid games, get lethal prizes type of situation. Belle did get shot during blood loss, had lots of important conversations with people. All the food is dying. Salt is still very important. Remember, everyone season your food. Make sure you at least have some salt. Everybody in the town is just tired as can be. Mama Hattie passed on some important information and then went on and passed on home, including telling Moses to cut people. And to round it all up, Nara's fiance is adorable. And now we're about to have a meeting because too much stuff is happening at one time and ain't nobody in Georgetown alive. So,
yeah. I would like to note that in chat, Valtiel 1493 noted a karambit knife. And yes, that is correct. It's a karambit knife. They're very cool looking. They're not very big. But if you need to like cut someone to find out if, for example, they're a demon, this will do it for you. You know. But now, speaking of engaged, one of our players, their character is indeed engaged. That would be Brenda. Who are you? Who are you playing? And what happened last week according to your character?
Oof. Well, hi everybody. I am Brandy Rose. I'm a talk show host and a producer and TTRPG player, amongst a million other things. And I play Nori. I play Usui Nori, the amazing drover in the party, the heart and soul of hope. Which is just a weird but very positive sentence. Nori got engaged to the man that she has known. Also, my pronouns say them. Nori's she or they, both fine. Nori's been with this man in her life since they were toddlers. Yes, my little eye patch man, who just loves and adores her. And I had shortly after our last session, I woke up in a cold sweat and realized that this is just Indigenous Anne Shirley and Gilbert Blythe that I have been acting out.
First off, the costumes, if we go back to the one from the 80s, were amazing. Some Perfect. Good 1890s
Absolutely,
costuming.
No notes.
I mean, come on. So good. That's all. I just
the curl, the hair.
Yeah.
Beautiful. For my love map, real hard, for better or for worse. And now I've gotten to play a version of them. So that's been very fun. And last week, we got to see beloved James looking very tired, but apparently not too tired to run his mouth. And he's just excited. Can't get mad at him. He's just excited. He got the girl. He's excited. The crops are dying, except for the ones that Hattie was looking over, which is an interesting thing to note. We had to deal with some bandits. I got my cattle back. My poor cows. Buttercup's parent, whose name I forgot. I think I named it Blossom. I was not very creative last week. So we got the cows back, told the sisters that Nori's engaged. And then most of Nori's time was spent going from A to B after the gunfight, trying to catch up with everybody and trying to go after Danny, and then realizing that is not, after Raiden, and realizing that it's not Raiden, and immediately turning tail and being like, I'm not dying here like this today.
Because
no, sir.
Yeah, Raiden's evil twin is really good at gunfighting, as it turns out.
Amazing at riding, at gunfighting, all the things that Raiden is not great at. So that was a big red flag. And now Nori has gotten everybody together into the town square as per instructions of Sheriff Bell. And it has lured them there under, well, frankly, just the guise of like, Nori said so. And it worked.
It did.
Because Nori is simply apparently very commanding. And it works. And James helped wrangle everybody into town hall. Has salt. Nori has saddlebags and bare hands full of salt. There's salt everywhere. Everyone is very salted and seasoned, and waiting at the town hall for Belle and Moses to join and help us fend off whatever impending attack must be on the horizon.
And so I feel like I have this, so I should definitely do it, because I feel like this is too fun. Here you go.
Oh boy.
Here we are in the town of Hope. This is my super Western stinger right there for you. We have the townsfolks all gathered, right, it's a town hall. It's sort of the main sort of meeting space. And now, of course, people are mostly in front because there are so many, like when the town hall was built, it was built for a much smaller population than Hope currently has. Hope currently is about 500 people, which is a huge number for these sorts of towns. And it was originally like around 150, 200 was sort of getting up there, but it just has boomed after a silver strike and sort of good mining that came from Raiden's technology. And so at this moment, you have the entire group of all of the people from Hope gathered outside in front of the town hall in the main square of the town. And there's like an almost built bandstand sort of stage area that James has been building because the governor is on her way to check out which town would be the best town to be the county seat for this area. They're going to create a new county. And when you create a new county, somebody's got to be the county seat. And the county seat is the place that has the sheriff, that has the justice of the peace, the what do you call it? The court, right? The county court. So there's a lot of things that happen if you become the county seat, including being able to actually make a lot of decisions about what will happen to that county, which might be very important considering that this whole area, which is where they're in a spot of, I can actually show you where they are. They are, where's our map of these? Here you go. They are at this little spot right here, which is right on the edge between the New Mexico territory, the Texas territory, and the state of Sequoia. The state of Sequoia being an area of land that has been given over to the indigenous people, and it has become a state. So there is a state that indigenous people can live in and have their representation. And the Texas territory, there are people who are senators who are wanting to break up the Texas territory and turn it into 2 different states for Latinx, Latina people, and also Black people. Now, some people may not want to be part of those 2 states if that happens. Specifically, a man named William Johnstone, who owns the town next door that may be full of zombies, actually, and he might also be some kind of evil sorcerer. Probably. Maybe not. Maybe he just has bad skin. You never know. But, you know, it might be evil sorcery. So the governor is on her way over to go and figure out which of the towns in this area should be the county seat. And at the moment, hope is not looking so great because their crops are now dying. And nobody has had the energy to try to build up this town in preparation for the governor's visit. So that's no good. And they have learned that William Johnstone of the town next door not only has created his town in such a way as to drain all of the life force of the earth from this area in a way that is no good, but also he has in some way enslaved 2 spirits that have come from Africa, the Obaifu, who are these sort of vampiric spirits that drain energy from people. And that sort of shackling has something to do with the shackles that he's been wearing around his hands, but also there was a vision that he has trapped in the basement of one of his buildings in his town, a Bokor, who is like a sort of a priest of a sort who can create zombies. So we know these things. And at this point, our heroes have gathered all of the people of hope into the town square and want to have a bit of a word. Now, we have Nori up there probably on the bandstand on the stage, and you have Slim wondering what's going on. You have the members of the townsfolk sort of milling about, sort of listlessly wondering what's happening. And of course, you have all of the new people who have moved into the town who are also sort of waiting to figure out what's going on. And it is at this moment where people are milling about when I think Belle and Moses sort of move from old Hattie's place to this sort of town center. And so all of you all are there, and I would like to know what you are going to do. As everybody's sort of waiting to look expectantly to see, because they don't quite know what's happening.
Moses is like standing on the outlet, and now like Moses isn't a smiler, really, but he's definitely not a scowler. He's just chill, sort of placid, and like kind of laid, like slouched a little bit. He's a slacker.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But right now, there's something different here. Like he's standing like taller. He's got that karambit kind of like palmed in his hand right there, holding there, and he's scowling. But he's not just scowling, he's scanning over the crowd. So he has that ability where he can identify or activity, any sort of weird activity that might be going over. So he's just trying to kind of like, he's like glaring, and he's just casting over there just to see if he can see something out of sight right now.
I love that. That is very exciting. Oh, my friend. I'm going to answer that question, but I'm going to let everybody else say what they are doing first because I want you to know the answer to that question may distress your character. So I'll just let you sit on that for a second.
Yeah, sure.
Just a little. But please tell me if you do not mind. Belle, what about you?
Belle took a little longer to come out that hut. Made sure she looked at that necklace real close, put it around her neck, tucked it under her shirt, and just soberly walks in, gestures to Nari to let her know that she's there, and it's gonna go up to Slim.
And Slim is standing right by the standing by the bandstand. Nori's up top, and Slim is like near there. Slim is sort of one of the leaders of the community, and so he's standing close to the bandstand, but he's not on it in the way that Nori is. And he sees you, and he sort of gives you a smile, and he tips his hat because he's not certain what's happening, but it's always nice to see you. He goes, Miss Belle?
I told you before, I understand the respect and the fact that your mama, you really got that in-tuned in you, but it's not Miss Belle. Belle will do.
So sorry. My mama, she'd always go and tell me you gotta respect me. Even if you are much younger than I am, still, you are more or less our sheriff. I mean, not officially, but more or less.
Well, unofficially, and not a sheriff-like position at all, but hypothetically speaking, if I was a sheriff, this would be the opportunity that I would take to deputize you at this particular time, because we are going to need your guidance, your humility, your busybodiness, and your ability to get messages to the right people.
All right. Well, what's going on?
First and foremost, I'm gonna make sure you get time this evening to pay your respects. Your mama has gone on home.
It's right now?
Yes. Put in a lot of work last night to keep everybody in this particular town safe, and the least we can do is make sure we don't let that work go to waste.
All right, Belle.
This was your can, so I'm gonna ask you, would you prefer me to tell the town or to keep it quiet for now?
It's well, suppose people don't need the stress right now. Suppose if they ask, maybe we shouldn't tell them at the moment.
All right. Well, we got some work to do. So I know your mom kept you up and protected. You don't look like you looking as tired as anybody else is here. So just
no, everybody here looks mighty tired.
Yeah. Well, does Moses have shoes on yet?
Oh my!
I just want to make sure that.
I don't know when he would have gotten
when have we had time for shoes?
That's so. Bill's gonna be like,
I imagine he was thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, it would actually be pretty comfortable right about now, but wait, we're doing it live.
So okay, well, and then she's gonna look to Nari and kind of come up on the stage and look at Nari and said, and just quietly let her know, Mama, Nari has gone on home. Not Nari, Mama Hattie has gone on.
You about scared me half to death. Bitch,
Mama,
I died?
No, Mama Hattie has gone on home. We are not going to tell anybody just yet at the request of Slim. But got a few words for everybody. Then I need you to work your particular magic. And we're going to have to mobilize something because apparently the governor's coming to town at the worst time ever.
Okay. We've got this. Don't worry, we've got this. We got everybody here. You know,
Mhm.
I'll work my magic, you work yours, and we will make Mama Hattie proud.
And then she will turn to just look out at the audience, everyone that's there.
And they're all
Just
watching you all, with anticipation.
All right. Good morning. Well, what time is it? Well, whatever. For me, it's morning time because I still have not had breakfast. I know that y'all like to call me sheriff with quotation marks, even though we are not officially in a position to have that. I would be remiss to not inform you all that we have an impending visit from the governor in order to make some determinations about our status. But we also got a lot of work to get that done. Our little town, full of hope and full of hopeful people, is, well, I'm not gonna alarm nobody. We all grown except for the folks that's not grown, and the people that ain't grown got people who are grown who can explain it to them.
You hear a kid in the corner, somebody I'm grown. And there's a little one,
Yes.
it's probably around 12,
Oh,
wearing overalls
Sure you are,
way too
kid.
big. I'm grown.
all right. That means you're gonna have a shovel too. If you grown folks got to do some work today.
Oh.
The neighboring town that we know we have had issues with has officially declared themselves not amicable to friendly relations between our two towns. And they have turned to darker means of attacking. And if you know, you know, and if you do not understand, just cross yourself, get some salt, and just trust me when I say this. The goal is to get...
Moses, this is where I want you to roll, if you don't mind. As she's speaking and you are scanning, I would love from you, I want something like, let's see, some kind of an awareness, like an observation, perhaps. That's what I would like.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's try this out.
If you do not mind.
Oh my god.
What do we have here? Oh, interesting. Interesting. Now, you do have you happen to have some jacks hanging out there on your river. And if you want, you can spin them for success, if you'd like.
They're like short arm jacks, right?
Yes, you'd have to explain to me how your ability in short armors might help you scan the crowd.
I got this. So we flash back to mom going like, no, you don't shoot with your hands, Moses. You shoot with your eyes, right? And she's just like, no, look. She's like, look at it, right? And now like look through it, and she's sort of giving him the sort of like vision kind of stuff, and he's like, do you see it? And when I like nod, she's like, well, pull the trigger, right? And then like do it, and I actually shoot the thing, right? And then it's sort of like a kind of almost like a montage of sort of her kind of pointing out the themes and just sort of like smaller and random kind of themes, and him like practicing and getting like pretty decent with it. And then he's sort of, and then we like go back to him, and he's like looking and peering at the crowd.
How many jacks do you want to spend?
For this? All of them.
All of them? All three?
Yeah.
Well, that is not a bad choice. Please. Belle, continue.
So we've got to clean up the town. We got to make sure everybody is feeling well. I need those in the town that know how to cook. I need you to set up a station at Mama Hattie's house. Do not go inside. This needs to be outside of the house within a specific radius. If it looks like the sun is shining there, that is where you need to be. I need you to, people who are farmers, I need you to go and see what you can salvage from your particular fields, if there is anything left, and bring in what you can. Again, I need you all to be separating into groups as I talk, because we've got a lot of work to do to get this town where it needs to be. We need some people that's good at digging and walking to go up outside of town a little bit. We've got some bodies that we need to make sure that we respect, of some people who attempted poorly to not only steal our particular cows from Nari's amazing stock, but also to shoot at us because somebody decided that was a good idea.
You can hear him go, "Oh, I think Sheriff Bell is injured. I think there's blood up. You see that?" Like you can hear, you know, like little.
You also hear Nori go, "Sheriff."
Just all right. So far, again, I need you all to be moving into groups based on what you can and cannot do. If you are feeling poorly, I need you to line up when they get the food cooking and make sure that you get yourself some food. We need people to go clean the streets, make sure stuff isn't hanging out there and rolling all over the place. And then we need at least 4 people who are willing to start doing patrols around the town to make sure people who aren't supposed to be here end up in here. I have unofficially deputized Slim there, and if everybody knows Slim, Slim knows everybody and everything even before they know it. So Slim will be the person to come to if you have any questions about what your job should be. I need all the children to be under supervision at all times. Do not leave the town. Repeat again. I'm gonna repeat this again. If you are grown with quotation marks and under, do not leave this town. If you do not have to worry about your parents finding you, because I know you know how to hide. I will come and find you and bring you to your parents.
Oh. And that one kid, that little 12-year-old punk kid is like, because you could tell.
Like he's been found by Belle before. This is a kid that is grown and has gone on adventures and been saved countless times.
Yes.
Okay, with that said, me and my compatriots will be going to endeavor to negotiate for more protection from this town and see if we could come up with some type of peace treaty. And when I say peace treaty, I mean making sure that nobody else in this town is harmed by the actions of the neighboring town. I know that this is sudden. This is not what you expected to spend your morning doing. Normally you're in church service when you feel real sleepy, but right now I know you may not be feeling good. I know you may be feeling down, but I need you to reach deep down in the roots, listen to your ancestors or whoever you need to listen to, and perk up a little bit. Get some good food when they get the station set up.
Now, the people are looking, and they're watching, they're listening to, and they're nodding. And they sort of also note that Nori's up on the stage. And you can see that they're looking to see what Nori has to say. Some people, I'm not going to say, some people are wondering about Mayor and all of that. Some people said. But they want to see what Nori says as well, because you have these two people on the stage, two forces of nature who the town respects. And as they are waiting to see what Nori has to say, Moses. You spent 3 jacks. All 3 of your jacks. You know, there's a large crowd of people. It's huge. So many people. It's hard to notice things. But you have a way of noticing things. You know? Things that maybe other people wouldn't notice. And you notice, right away, it's somewhat overwhelming, actually. The number of people that seem to be pale. But I mean that in a it's like paleness radiates off them, and it's kind of a slightly, if you concentrate, it's like their light has dimmed. And if you look, it seems to you to be about a third to a half of the town seem to be drained in this way. It's if they're slightly just edging towards black and white, if you know what I mean. Like that kind of vibrancy of life that is within them is just... And if you don't look carefully, they look like regular people who are just tired, but you looked carefully. And you can see just the kind of... They look a little almost skeletal, as if the moisture in their body, all the liquid, the blood, everything is just sort of drying up. If you don't look carefully, you look like everybody else, right? They look just tired, but when you peer, you can see them as if they're slowly withering. About a third to a half the town. The other half of the town is not so much withering. They haven't been hit yet, it doesn't seem. But you notice two other things for the two jacks. You notice one... Well, you notice your brother, who's standing out near the saloon watching. And right by his side is this woman. A woman in a black dress, with a black little hat with an undersided red rim, a slight little veil, and these red round sunglasses, and these black lace gloves, and a small little parasol that she is wearing to keep her in the shade, because she doesn't like to be out in bright sunlight. And this woman, you know her quite well. And she has got her arm wrapped around your brother's, and she is smiling, and she is looking right at you. She smiles broad as she just pats his hand and looks up at the stage and looks up at you. And you can see as she smiles, just a little pointed. And you know who she is and what she wants. But then you notice in that mass group of people who are the new people who've arrived recently, you notice little flicks of light. You can't see it clearly because there's so many people crowded and packed in there listening to Nori and Belle, but you see like a little flicker of light. Like when you sort of see a crowd of people and you can't tell who's in the middle of the crowd, but you can see people moving about. You just see like a little sort of like couple lines of light. And you have a feeling of it's like I don't know what you feel like on the inside, but your body feels a chill. And your stomach drops as you just get a glimpse. You can't even really see who or where it is, of something unnatural. And as you see those things, people are listening to Nori. And as Nori begins to speak, let me ask you, Moses, what do you do at this moment?
So is it like the thing I see, is it like moving like away from the crowd, into the crowd?
In the crowd, within the crowd. Because you got like a couple hundred people. Within the crowd, you kind of catch a glimpse in between people. You know what I mean? Like someone is moving or some people are moving in this crowd. And you can just catch the glimpse. Like if you see somebody wearing a really bright cap, right? In the midst of a crowd, and you can just kind of catch the cap emerge and submerge back into the crowd here and there.
Right.
It's like that, but it's not a cap. It's this bright line, and nobody else sees it. Nobody else sees it. And you can, like, you have to, like, strain and shift your viewpoint to see if you can catch it, but there are, in this crowd of people, two people
And where am I positioned towards? Am I off to the side?
Mhm.
Like okay, like off to the side.
That's what you told me.
Yeah. No, I just want to make sure while they're talking, I want to just kind of like just wave up to them. Like I don't want to indicate like, over the thing, but just kind of like, hey, as I'm I'm conspicuously not looking at them as I do the thing. So I'm just sort of like waving real quick and walking towards the thing, trying to sort of
Into the crowd.
communicate I'm moving. Right. And then I'm gonna try and I actually want to just socialize a bit. Like sort of as I weave through the crowd, I want to kind of just socialize and like talk to people like, oh man, did you hear what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Like I want to I want to move through the crowd socially, like I'm unaware of it, and get closer.
Absolutely. I love this. We're going to count this, by the way, as a bit of a modified chase, is what we're going to count this as you're trying to move through the crowd and they are trying not to be seen. Nori, what do you say?
I am on stage. I had made room for Belle to address everybody with all logistics and everything, but I stayed on stage, smiling at people, just like looking reassuring, and checking on James, who is probably standing close enough to me for people to have like, if they didn't know, they've money's exchanging hands.
He's not on the bandstand with you, but he's like right at the foot of the bandstand with his hammer, as if he's just here to go and work on the bandstand, but he's just standing there looking at you like with this look of complete adoration and like, look how cool she is. Like she like
yes.
Yeah, there's that kind of like puppy dog like that's the gal I'm gonna go and like that's the gal I'm gonna marry, but he's not said anything except that he's just right there. Like,
I mean, except that he already told half the town.
He only told the people who are gossips, but he didn't mean to. He told half the town. Half the town knows.
He did.
Yes.
He did.
Yes,
he did. He didn't mean to. He was just excited.
Yeah.
It is fine. So she's smiling at the crowd. Nori's smiling at the crowd. Looking down also like to James. I'm smiling at the crowd, smiling at James, smiling at the crowd, smiling at James, smiling at the crowd. Shut up, James. Stop it. James smiling crowd. Quit. He like maybe she does like a pass where she's just like, like giving like thumbs up like to the kid, and as she like puts the thing down, like quit looking like that. And it's not effective. It's never been effective. She swats like you're like petting a flower. It's extremely light. But so she goes, yes. We have a job to do. Come on, guys. We could be the county seat. Do you guys not take pride in hope? Do you guys not take pride in the work that you do? Of course you do. I know you. I see, you every day. And she starts to like point out like everybody and the place they have in the day-to-day life of everybody else, of like, if I can't like get your bread on a Sunday morning, what am I supposed to do? And, and just kind of making everybody feel integrated and important, because every member of a community is an important cog in the community and everybody is beloved. This is a very like full of care like town. And Nori is trying to remind them of that because they feel down. And gives a very like elaborate, just like here, like very energetic speech, hoping to kind of like infect everybody a little bit with a little bit more vigor. And then just to really nail it in, is starting to pick like maybe the baker was towards the end, and I was talking about like the local like gardens who does like flowers, etc., and like this like beautiful like the carpenter who does like this amazing work, and these beautiful arches that they made here in this building in the town hall. And then finishes it up with like, and we would love to show the governor a beautiful town, a town beautiful enough to, I don't know, get married in. And like points at James and points at herself and goes, you know,
And
and
then
we would like to show that.
you could hear the crowd, especially like the core and the front, who've been here for quite a long time. There's some hooting, there's some hollering.
Oh boy.
People, you just said the M word.
Hootin'
People are
and
very excited. Somebody's like, "Oh, where's Mama Hattie? Where's Miss Hattie? Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, you owe me $20. Oh, I can't believe that." There's all sorts of like hubbub
There's
in the
money
front.
exchanging hands.
There's some money exchanging hands, and I'm gonna need a roll from you, Moses.
Ooh.
I would like to know, and I'm also gonna need a roll from both Nori and also
Oh.
Belle. I'm gonna need a roll from all of y'all. All of
Oh.
y'all need to give me some rolls.
Thought I was safe.
Oh no, there's no safety.
I know.
There's no safety. From Nori, I want either convince or expression. Same thing from Belle. And from Moses, you have a couple of choices because you're trying to basically sort of maneuver your way closer to these figures without sort of being noticed. And I feel like you could probably use a deception or a stealth, depending on what might be best for you here, how you sort of imagine your.
I was thinking of a deception.
Yeah, that works for me.
Because I'm like trying to
Yep.
hide my intention in plain sight.
Yes, absolutely. So, all right. So, Nori, you get one success. You get a
And a
success
jack.
with it. Would you like to store that, Jack, or use it?
I'll use it because I already have one stored. Still.
Perfect. In which case, you use that to help spur the town. And remember, no, the town is exhausted and drained. And what do we get from you? Belle? Ooh, 3 success on your. That's very good. 3 jacks. All right. So you are supporting, right? But you have enough jacks. The town starts nodding, and you can see that there a kind of excitement is happening to try to build this up. And I'm gonna roll the stealth of some people. They have an 80.
Oh no.
Roll a 23. That is 7 jacks. So, Moses, you move like butter through this crowd, but you can't. They currently have you up. They're beating you by 1. Whoever gets to 3 first, by the way, succeeds in this chase. They keep their way out of your distance, and there's so many people. And now there's this sort of like hoopla going on. People are very excited, and you keep trying to make your way closer to these figures that you can barely see, but you can't quite get closer to them at this moment. What are all the rest of you doing at this moment? As you can see, you too, from up on the bandstand, you can see Moses wading into the crowd as people begin to start moving to figure out where they want to go and where they're supposed to be. They've got assignments now that, Belle gave them assignments to go and sort of try to dig up crops, maybe sort of clean up some things. And so people are beginning to mill about, and you can see Moses beginning to move into the crowd. And he was gesturing to you both.
Can I use observation to try to get a read on what is happening? Or would I just be familiar enough with the patterns and history with Moses to get an idea of what he's endeavoring to communicate?
Quinn, tell me about, at this moment, if you don't mind, perhaps even a flashback, a little moment. Tell me exactly about how well Belle knows Moses, or how communicative Moses is.
Well, I think it's really it's not a thing of like up until like last episode, we never really like known each other as like people.
Yeah.
Right. But as like Belle as a town's like Ursat sheriff,
yeah,
and me as our ne'er-do-well in chief.
Yes.
Like there's that way that you like she knows my patterns, right?
Yes.
Like Belle knows when I'm up to something shady. Belle knows when I'm trying to sort of like deceive. It's sort of this cat and mouse kind of like
Mm-hmm.
Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner kind of,
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's like, well, I know what you're up to, right? Like that's that thing you do when you're trying to get your guys to follow you someplace and you're trying to like, shrug it off. So she like, like I'm basically showing her the stuff that like she's probably sort of like caught me in like a million times before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That makes
But
sense to me.
except this one time I actually want her to catch me.
Yes. You can tell. You can tell. If that is how it is, that is how it is. You can tell. He's up to something and he wants you to know.
Okay. Belle's pretty much just relying on Nori to get the congregation to say amen. And then it's just like, all right, and as I have been endeavoring to say to everyone, you know what you need to do. We need to get started. Remember, I do a lot of reading, a lot of book learning, and so on, even though I don't like to talk about it too much. And there was a philosophical person that once said, hope is the only good that is common to all men. Those who have nothing else possess hope still. So no matter what they do or what they try to take from us and so on, we will always have hope, and therefore this town will always exist. Now, go on, y'all know what y'all need to do. If anything, it should happen by nightfall, and the next morning is coming and we are not here, we will depend on you to make sure that nobody or nothing comes into this town that means anyone ill will, because we got a governor to impress. Also, if anybody has any extra shoes, please let me know. And especially like men's shoes. I have a very good friend who needs some before we really get to working, and I will not name any names because some people are barefoot by choice. But if you do have some
I
shoes
absolutely
to spare,
shoot you a look.
Nori is staring at Moses on stage. Just
Belle just kind of hit and so we're just looking out for each other because that's what we do in this particular town. Uh, and then she's doesn't want to distract Moses from what he's doing exactly,
Mm-hmm.
but does from where she is standing want to get a better look at like his patterns, where he's going, and so on, to kind of clock if there is a chase or a pursuit or something going on.
That sounds like an observation to me.
Mm-hmm.
Is what that sounds
Yep.
like. Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, everyone, I have a propensity called Over the Horizon.
Tell me about
And
this.
this one specifically, and let me put on my read a book voice.
Oh, I love it. I love a good read a book voice.
You rarely lose your way or the trail of a target. Select either survival or tracking calls, and always make 2 calls, taking the better result.
Would you like tracking?
love your book voice.
I love the book voice. It is good.
Great.
Tell me if you'd like tracking. It is up to you. Are you trying to track or observe?
Yes,
give me what you got going on. Ooh, okay, a success.
So that was that one, and then if I do it again, so that everyone can see how this works.
Oh.
Okay.
You'd like a jack, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to keep it, or would you like to spend it right now?
I have some still in the bank because I got shot. Sure. Let's go ahead and spend it.
All right, then. We're going to note that spend. Nori, what are you doing as you can see your sheriff go into Hawkeye mode?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. First thing I'm doing is gesturing to James to come over so I can instruct him on exactly what to do. which is, I know
He's not
you're
that
gonna
far.
want to go do. Well, I'm leaning down then, I guess, because he's still
Yeah.
on the floor and I'm
Yeah.
taller, for once,
It's true.
and enjoying it very much, judging by the hand on his shoulder, and is like, I know you're gonna want to go do the biggest thing because you're so inspired and you're so strong. And it gets like defacing, but you eat first, so help you God, okay?
All right. All right.
You are way too sleepy.
Also, it was a beautiful speech.
Oh my God.
What?
Shush. Eat. You know what? Lick some of the salt, can't hurt.
I'm not a horse.
I don't care.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Pulls out
I
some
want you
salt.
safe and healthy.
Ooh. And he licks the salt and he starts moving. And he goes, and he comes back. Wait, do you need anything from me?
The usual.
Okay, that's later.
There. And he gets a kiss on the forehead instead because I'm taller. So I can do that now. And
Some people in town notice, and they're talking.
That's okay. It's just on the forehead. They're fine. They can talk all they want. And Nori has noticed Hawkeye mode and is going to follow suit. And like very casually is like a hand on the hip. The hip is it's the hand is above the gun, right above the gun, just in case. Hand above hip, ready at any second to assist Belle. And trying to scan what is Belle looking at? Like trying to figure out like what has activated this mode in both like my close friend and sheriff.
That'll be well now.
A roll.
It'll be a roll, but you have a couple different options, I think, at this moment.
Okay.
I feel like if you wanted, you could do an observation because that is a way for you to go, see things if you're tracking. But you might
look for something else.
Also be able to do something like psychology if you want to check out her. That's a possibility as well.
I should have made this character smarter.
You could do something like let's see, what else might you want to do? Because you've got like a couple different things going on here, right?
Oh, psychology actually could work. I actually did put a lot of that because part of being a good entertainer is reading your crowd.
Then why don't you give me a psychology?
Let's do that.
I would appreciate that very much.
Ooh, a jack.
All right. This is.
I'm gonna spend it. Who cares? It's the finale.
You'll spend it?
Let's
all
go
right then.
Out.
Okay. I'm going to note we just have 2 people over here who are given successes with Jack's spent, extra Jack spent. And I'm just going to note it because that may be important. Let's go back to Moses, who's trying to move through this crowd.
So like, I want to go right to that moment where Belle brings up the shoes thing. And Moses, like, at first he just was like, and then he was like, oh. And then he like kind of goes into a riff, another take on the deception thing. But this time it's just like, oh, you called me out. Look at this. I got nothing, but I don't, and I'm just kind of pushing my way, I was like, don't look at me like that. I don't want your charity. I don't want your charity. I'm like kind of like pushing my way out of people just because it's like, oh man, I just, I got waylaid by some bandits. It's just terrible. But you didn't have to call me out, but and I'm doing this sort of like put my hands up, but I'm also kind of moving hands over and trying to like point over to where to the other 2 to sort of help them find these things as I'm moving over towards them while making a huge deal.
Oh, well, I love that. I'm going to need your deception if you don't mind. You're going to get a plus 20 from them to your skill.
Ooh, okay. That is good.
Because, they are aiding you, right, in this matter.
Are you kidding me? Come on, hi.
You have a grit. You can reroll.
I'm going to spend a grit to reroll.
I think you have 3 grit right now, yes? So now it would be down to 2. And now you'd be down to 2.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll do that. Give me reroll. Please be better on the reroll.
Ooh.
Okay, I just got there.
All right, let's see how they do. Let's see
Okay.
how they do.
Please fail. Oh, that was not a failure.
Nope. You move closer, but it's like you just see these little lights in between people. You keep trying to get closer, and they keep getting a little bit farther away, as you keep moving closer and closer. Now, Belle, you are looking to see where he's going, and you can see that he's clearly on a path. He's trying to make it look like he's just wandering around, right? But you can see he's following a trap, and if you follow his eyes, you can see some people that are keeping away from him. You can barely see them, but you kind of see that it seems to you like he's on a chase, and you can maybe note who he's trying to follow. And Nori, you see exactly what everyone's feeling in this moment. You can see that he's putting on a front, that he's trying not to be noticed as he's moving through the crowd deliberately while looking like he's not. And you notice that Belle notices, like you can see her looking at him, looking across the crowd, and then you can see what she's looking at, and you can see like just the tops of heads with hats sort of moving through a crowd of people who are all milling about. And there is clearly in your mind a chase. You also notice, Nora, a woman, a striking woman. She is like a beautiful, very, very sort of tan skin. That is, it's a kind of like she looks like she'd maybe be like a Latino woman who's never seen the sun. So she's like sort of tan, but kind of a paleness about her in this sort of parasol that she has, keeping her under the shade with these red sunglasses and a hat with a veil. And you can notice that she has noticed this situation and is quite amused in a way that reads a little strange to you. And she's got her arm around Moses' brother's arm. And there's something off about her, as if she's expecting something to happen. And you get a vibe that if something doesn't happen, it's not going to be good. That's the vibe you get from her. There's something predatory about her. At the same time as she looks, like on the surface, she looks very pleasant. But underneath, she seems predatory and dangerous. Belle.
Yeah. So once Eagle Eyes have been activated, because this is what she does, and she's just tracking, basically looking at a hunt. She knows what a hunt looks like.
Yes.
She's familiar with,
Yes.
quarry and so on, but she worries based on how she sees like the speed up, the slow down, the moving away, and so on. It's like when someone is after a quarry that they probably are not going to capture.
Yeah.
More like flushing something out than actually capturing.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Absolutely.
You mentioned in a previous description that there were people who were newer to town, not the
Yes.
older residents and so on.
Yes.
Because of Belle's position and what she does and so on, would she be able to clock that this looks like some of the people from the newer grouping?
Yeah. Not because you know them as new, but because you don't know them as people you know.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Same difference, but it's more like everybody who's been here for a long time, you know them. You know their names. You know them very well. These are clearly not people, you don't recognize them. You don't get a good look at them, but you also know you don't know them. Because if you knew them, you wouldn't need to get a good look at them to know them.
Okay. She's gonna turn to Nari and say, so, Can you get some of your sisters, some of the people that work with you in the rodeo, to kind of set up like a station for people who are newer to town or don't have an assigned job yet, to come and get some temporary placement as we start to improve everything? Somebody that can do writing and arithmetic and kind of keep a track.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, Bamori and the twins are still figuring themselves out. They don't really have much to do, and Ahui is Ahui and Bahui are set with handling the cattle. So I'll ask Bamori to take the twins. They should be here in the crowd somewhere. They were gonna go into town anyway. They don't usually help with like Ahui's work. They're healers. So yes, I can absolutely do that. And we will have our unknown guests appropriately scoped out.
Yeah, because in Belle's, if there was an inner monologue in her head, is that we don't really have time to deal with every single potential problem that is happening. Like, we actually have to go do something. So she's, yeah.
Mhm.
So just Bella's like, all right, that way we've got a list of names or missing names. And we can compare it to the books of like a census that we already have. It'll also make all of them people feel real special, like they have an official job, and we can go from that. And she's gonna kind of look at Moses and do like a scratching at her. So, like I said, everybody's got a job to do. So at this point, and then he's like almost playing along with I am not trying to call you out. I am just trying to help you. I am just trying to help you. Can you believe this? You don't have to. You called yourself out. I didn't say your name. You the one in the crowd saying, "Oh, it don't have to call me." Would nobody have known if you hadn't opened your mouth? She's just about to say. Anyways, please bring all your shoes. Leave them in a pile next to the saloon if you have some extra ones. And then she's just kind of make a gesture with her head.
And George goes, "I want my shoes back." He says, yells out.
You be quiet, George.
Belle, the first time, looks, and I'm assuming she sees the lady.
Mm-hmm. You've never seen her before.
She's what in the...
Nori's gonna lean over to Belle and then tap the shoulder and be like, James told me George has a new lady friend and has been hanging around him all night at the bar, the saloon. And that would be her.
I have so many questions, especially when it comes to matters of leagues and all the rest of it, but I'm gonna tell you, ain't nobody that look like that has ever come to this town on purpose.
Yeah.
Why is she... Like,
she never takes the sunglasses off, apparently.
See, I come from the town where they have the bourgeois and all the rest of that, and even then, they at least want to show their eyes.
I don't think I've ever seen red glasses before.
Belle's just like, but he didn't have... I'm pretty sure he didn't have no woman or anybody prior to. Belle is just for a moment just stuck and just gesturing to Moses.
Moses,
I love that we're on stage and it's extremely clear that we are heads together gossiping about George.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's Belle is playing it up to kind of lessen the...
Nori is helping accidentally by being completely genuine. Has no idea we're acting anything up. This is just Nori's dramatic element.
Belle's just kind of like...
Can I get a roll, Moses?
All right.
You get your plus 20.
Can I try another? Huh?
Yes, you can. You get your plus 20 from your compatriots helping you out.
Okay. All right. Can I buy a break here? Let's see. Give me good roll.
Let's see what
That's
that roll
roll.
is. What roll do we have, my friend? 4 jacks. Well. They only get 1 jack. You catch up to them. You get closer. You see them. The thing is, right now, the crowd is finding this whole thing hilarious. And some people are slapping you in the back. And they kind of like push you forward in a way, right?
Mhm.
To sort of get you just a little bit closer to them at this point. They are very close to sort of slipping out of your grasp, but you have gotten just one step closer to them. You're very close. But you can now see this woman looking at you with these eyes, and then she looks to the stage. She looks at you, and then she pats your brother's hand, and she looks at you. And it is a look that is not particularly.
Trying to save the town or save my brother, huh?
It's up to you. You're closer to them. You might be able to catch them. But you made a deal.
Is it midnight already?
It's not, but you're right here in front of Ev. And she's waiting for her show.
I mean, I guess we could give the show. I guess maybe we could give the show and use it to. Can we use the thing to distract?
Perhaps.
Yeah, maybe if we go. Yes, here we go.
I'm ready for it.
Since everyone else sort of knows about this and can sort of move towards them. I'm gonna I get close to him and I see the thing and it was like.
And as you get closer to them, you can kind of catch a glimpse of them a little bit easier. They look. There's these twins. They look like twins. There's one that seems like sort of masculine, one that seems feminine, and they're wearing sort of thick overalls and a jacket, and they've got little hats on, and they look to be, it's strange, maybe mid-20s. They've got kind of a youthful look to them. They look healthy. They look young and fresh. They are full of life at this moment. They almost glow right out of healthiness, but you also have that ability to see things in a double vision. And on one hand, they look healthy and well-fed and young and happy and just completely normal. But there's something about them that is too bright. It's as if you put the saturation up on them. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you look in that other view, it's as if their colors are too bright and their edges are a little bit too sharp. And when one of them moves like this, you see like some light that comes for a flash, a light that comes out of their armpit, like a dash of light. And they are moving as if they don't even notice that you're chasing. And they seem to just be, and as you watch them move, you realize they almost glide. They move almost too gracefully, you know? It's like they slip, like if there's only this much space between people, they're able to just slip right through them without even ruffling any feathers. And there is something about them that reads of both life and also death.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so I will when I notice a kind of where my little demon friend give me the time, I kind of stop, and I'll turn towards them, and like when George is like, "Oh, I want my shoes back,"
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, "Oh," and George, right? And when with my arm, I'm gonna kind of have my arm extended. I'm gonna try and sort of, for my compatriots, try and point out,
Uh-huh.
like with the hand extended. "Oh, George, well, I bet the town would like their money back from that deal we brokered with them. Remember that?"
And he's like, what? He's like,
Hmm?
what are you, Moses? What are you doing?
Okay.
What are you doing?
No. I'm coming clean,
What?
and I suggest you do the same.
What? And everyone in the town's like,
what? and hopefully at this point everybody is just like, what the?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yes.
Right.
They are,
and hopefully causing a huge distraction.
Yeah. There's quite a bit of a ruckus. Like, what do you mean, come clean? Like, Sheriff Bell, what are they talking about? What's going on? Now, your twins, Nori, are moving because you had gestured towards them. They're moving towards the bandstand, and they're up there asking, like, at the edge, trying to figure out what it is what's going on.
Waved them over. So I'm gonna lean down. Bamori, I'm sure, is right behind them, probably hand on each twin's shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Sume, Sure, Bamori, I need your help with something.
What language are you speaking right now?
Taramori.
Mm-hmm.
And so in our native tongue, without being worried about being overheard, I will clarify, yes, engaged. Yes, James. No, we will not be talking about this right now. Yes, Ahui found out first. So sorry. She asked.
And you see the twins look back towards your ranch with mischief on their minds. You know.
Oh, no.
Oh, you know.
Oh,
you know.
Hey, focus. Go girls. You are both great. She almost said great kids, and then she was like, I do not want to wake up with my shoes full of water. Great people. And I am trusting you with a very important job for me, and to make sure they actually do it, Sheriff, soon to be Sheriff Bell. Okay, so Bell needs you guys to do something, which is the best way to do it because one of the twins is not Nori's biggest fan.
It is true. It is true.
However, who could hate Belle? So
one of them is a little jealous about how you seem to be the favorite, but whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, that's also Mitsa, which is really good that Mitsa is not in town right now. But that's why Bahui's not in town either. It's just Ahui at the ranch. But she basically explains what I need them to do, that Belle asked me to do, to set up something to give people that don't have jobs, and the people that are unfamiliar faces here, to kind of have a place to log them and get some knowledge, some intel on them, and if that list makes its way over here to me and Belle, that would be fantastic. And to be very relaxed and subtle, but also, and gets closer, and Nori has some of the sand, salt from the saddlebags, in pockets now. And it's just mentally just don't notice the shirt, and gives and grabs the twins, not making eye contact, aggressively not making eye contact, especially not with Bamori, who is 27 and the eldest, and is putting salt in everybody's palms. Probably the twins not a fan. Doesn't matter. And take this. Licking some of it's probably not a bad idea, but most of it keep with you. And if something happens that is not natural, draw a line, stay behind it, make sure you keep that line or circle between you and the thing that we are not going to give any energy by naming. Okay?
Bamori just takes a hold of the collar of the shirt you're wearing and looks at it, and then looks at you and takes the salt.
You're not. You can't. Anyway. Can't say anything because older siblings can joke about a dead parent, younger siblings not so much. And it's just and you're not my real mom on the tip of her tongue.
But you don't say it.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, okay. And pulls like straightens the collar, pulls the hair further in front of everything. And it's the best part about having big hair is it hides absolutely everything. And it's just like closes the twins' hands around the salt and is like, do you understand everything that I told you?
And one of them goes, one's like, we're gonna go and we're taking a list of everyone who's new, and they start moving off, right, to like try to set up a table to sort of pull in all of the new people. Belle, what are you doing at this moment? Because we're gonna go to Moses right after you. As the people in the town, a number of the townsfolk seem to get upset. Like, what do you mean this? What kind of deal is this? What's been going on?
Oh no.
What did they do? Were we cheated? What was that? What's going on?
Belle is going to look for Slim first and foremost.
Slim is right there.
And just make eye contact with him. Point in the general area that, like gesture with the hand in the general area that Moses was pointing to.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a question because Belle would know this.
Absolutely.
Does this is a complicated one. Does Slim speak French?
Yes.
Okay, because that was the only extra language I put on Belle's thing, and she's just going to.
Because Mama Hattie,
yes,
had made her way. She was first in Florida, right? Then she made her way. She's been around a long time, and then she was in Florida for a while, as far as you know. Then she made her way to Louisiana for a while, and she'd been in Louisiana for quite some time before she was moved to get into Alabama. So she'd been quite around quite a bit. And Mama Hattie spoke Spanish, English, French, Ewe, also Ashanti, actually. She spoke many, many languages. Now, Slim does not speak that many languages, but he grew up mostly in Louisiana, so he speaks French.
Okay, so she's just going to get closer to Slim and lower her voice and say in French that your mother worked hard all night and found that there were things that should not be here. Make sure those two don't hurt the twins, because she knows the twins will be this one. And she trusts that Slim has lots of protection and stuff on it based on what his mom did, just for comely. It says, we give you a hard time, but you always need somebody in the town that knows everything about everybody.
Well, that's why I'm on the telegraph. But that's all he says as he moves right back. He moves like a beeline towards the twins as they're working over towards like a table to start setting up.
Yeah.
Moses.
And to the crowd that's working up. Okay, wait a minute. I can't hear if somebody is trying to say something. If y'all running your mouth.
Well, but nobody said no. But what do you mean? What did they do? Hold on a second. What those brothers we always knew? And there's like you can see people are getting a bit worked up.
Belle is like,
oi! Listen to Belle and shut up. You guys do not want to misbehave on today. If you have time to run your mouth, then you have time to run your legs and help everybody who is setting up for this town. Okay?
They should be arrested.
You are about to be arrested if you do not mind your business. If you are not minding your business, who's minding it? Who's minding it? Nobody. You're minding his business? His business doesn't need to be minded. His business is being minded. Do you trust Belle? Yes. Do you want to publicly say you don't trust Belle?
No.
Do your job.
Belle's gonna look over to Moses. Oh my goodness, what is it that you are attempting to tell me about what has happened with with the thing that's big? Ooh.
Okay, so I want to talk about demonology for a second.
Absolutely. Also, I want to zig but go ahead.
But because the demon's right there, and the demon's like mugging it up and stuff like that. The demon's like, oh, you don't have any control over me. You don't have any stuff in there. But like, I can still like attempt to call this thing, right?
Yes, you can.
So, and it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Random number generator. Please don't crap up on me right now. I'm just gonna say before I lead into this. Okay, so I'm gonna be like, no.
What about your protection circle?
Huh?
What about the protection circle?
Do I need that to do the like callback, or?
It's better for you to have it because that protects you from the demon. It'll only take you a little bit of time to make it, not too long.
Oh, can I like with shoes off kind of trace one while I'm talking?
Yes, you can.
So I'm gonna go through the side. No, I was like, well, Bell, people. I mean, I've learned. We all know that me and mine are semi-reputable folks, leaning hard on the semi most days. But we're trying to come clean. We're trying to live up to the namesake of this town. Be more about hope than rather about cheat. And George and I, we've pulled on some fast ones, and I'm gonna come clean for us both.
He's like, I didn't pull up any fast ones.
George, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, but let me tell you something. George came about it, excuse me. George did his dirt, but you know who he did that dirt for?
Oh.
A woman.
What?
Oh boy.
By the name by the name of, and then I will call the demon by its name.
Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna need a couple rolls from you right about now, if you don't mind. I'd like your Scholar Occult, please, to get this circle where it needs to be.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Here we go. Here's the scholar.
Okay. Do it.
Oh!
You make the circle, and now I need you to call your demon as you. Do you have the doll with you?
This is my demonology.
Yeah, do you have your doll with you?
Hmm?
Do you have Miss Hattie's doll?
Yep.
+5.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Please don't. So just as a thing, there's no space for demonology on here, so I'm rolling this as theology, which is also a resolve skill. So just so folks know, when they see theology in there. All right, here we go. Oh, and I should explain, we got some experience between here. One of the things that you can get is you can get a knack for a skill. And when you get a knack for a skill, when you get a jack, you get a bonus jack. So one of the things I did, I raised a skill for some of the points, but then I got a knack in demonology, so that is actually 4 jacks.
I'm gonna just note that right there, if you do not mind. This is what happens. And I need a deceive from you, actually. That is a thing that I'm also going to need, because this is about whether or not those creatures understand that you are chasing them, or whether or not they think that this was what this was about. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so another deception?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see how they are with their checking people out. They've got a 60 in their psychology. Let's see how they do. No. This is important to note, as all of this happens, because something big is going to happen right about now. Something real big, actually. And they now think that all of this hullabaloo was not you chasing them, but you getting towards that demon. So they are no longer suspicious of you. However, you call the demons, and the demon basically teleports immediately from right beside George into that circle. Just like that. And the demon is in this she's in this black lace dress that looks like sort of like Spanish nobility. You know what I mean? And she all of a sudden is longer and thinner than a person should be. And she pops right into that circle. And I need lottie-dottie everybody to make a terror test -20 as this being.
Fair. And terror is just a straight 1d100, right?
Yes, please. So you have to hit a 30 because it's a -20.
Okie dokie.
Please, if you do not mind. Yes.
Am I okay?
Everybody, because you all can see it. You all see it.
I made it just barely.
I don't remember what the DC was because my brain wiped clean. I hit a 93.
Nope. Lose 3 lucidity if you don't mind. As this...
Oh no.
This being is not supposed to be at all. And you can see this woman, and you can see what seems to be like scissor blades coming out of her shoulders. No one else sees it, but you see it. Maybe like wisps of shadow just seeping off of her body. And then you think she's got chicken feet. Like you just get this vision of her that is not okay.
Okay.
Bell, same with you. And I'm gonna note, let me just make a roll for, many other people in the town. Oh, hey, I rolled a 13. That's pretty amazing. The townsfolks see this, they freak a little bit, but they do not stampede. They're just like moving back because this is not. And George's mouth just drops open because George was very excited about somebody liking him because most people don't like him that much. Not that much.
Sorry, George.
And he just like gets that kind of gray pale as he steps back as that gal that he met who was like super fancy and exciting just like pops over into this not actually working circle. And is there, and you have 4 jacks that you can spend, by the way, for other things. You have 4 demonology jacks. Just note that. She stands there in this circle, and she said, "Why, my friend? Seems you have a question." And everybody else is like, "There's a demon in the middle of town, in the middle of the day. There's a demon." Everyone's like, "Oh, and they all start like kind of backing away, and you can hear something like, just keep out of the circle. Everybody, right? Everybody's trying to keep this. Slim's trying to keep it, and like the twins are like, people who are new over this way, right? Trying to herd, because there's a demon in the middle of town square, right in the middle of town square. At the moment, it seems like you have it under control, so people are not freaking out. But everyone's looking to Belle and Nori, and people are like, "What is happening?"
Go about your business. Go continue with your projects. Hell or high water. That's what the saying says. Let's go. James, come on, help get them out of here. Get them out of here.
Belle is Belle was a little like this is a shocking sight.
Yes, it is.
But it's also really grating on the last nerves that she has because they do not have time for this. Like Bella's just really at this position. It's just like
Right here. By the way, spin that grit for this summoning.
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you just see Belle say, "Is gonna come off. She's not going to broach that circle in any way. She just has a hand goes into a pocket and she's just toying with just the salt in her hand, and she just starts walking off that table. She said, "Look, okay, Moses, I know you are in the hospitality business. This is wonderful having room service on the go. You were going above and beyond. George, if you say a single word, you done brought this. I'm not even going to see. It would be an insult to a heifer to call this a heifer. So what I am going to say is insert the appropriate insult here.
I'll say it.
Oh, we don't have to lower ourselves. Miss, ma'am, or not that you are, I have 2 questions for you. And Moses, do what you need to do. Because we don't have time for this. They're trying to destroy the city.
Oh, I
Something
know.
more power. Of course, you're the one that told him the stuff and then took his shoes or whatever. It's not nice to jack people for their shoes, but here we
They
are.
weren't even nice shoes. Like
I'm
that
a
was such
demon.
a weird thing to ask for. Okay, and you can't be weird. Excuse me. No.
This is a weird, and you know what? I am terrified inside because you should not be here, right? I understand this on a philosophically religious way, and I probably am going to cry later. Can you put it on hold for just a second, whatever issues you may have? Because can you just put it on hold for a second, Moses? Can they just put it on pause and then come back?
So I'm gonna step up to the demon, like right to the edge of the demon. You got your show.
I did.
Hmm?
I did. And I suspect things will be very difficult for both in the future, which amuses me. So,
But now it's time for you to go.
you've called me. What do you want?
I called you away from my brother,
Oh,
and I called you just to show you I can.
Huh.
Because you've got things flipped, my friend.
do I?
Yeah. And like in this like anybody who's looking at like from the back of Moses, his leg is like twitching like uncontrollable. Like he's just can't, like the upper body is like all like resolute, and the rest of him is like trembling.
So tell me, if you called, what is your request?
Belle is behind. It's like trying to make a go away.
Do you want knowledge? See. Do you want terror? What do you want to be better than you are right now?
Time for this.
You know, things in this area.
I mean, so sort of like out of character for a second. Could I use
you have made
it set up? Could I use him like to like terrify these two?
You have made the call at this moment, so you can make a request.
They have prices, don't they?
They do have prices. Yes, they do.
No, we're not so great the first one.
Have prices. Everything comes with a cost.
Nori has never
I just
stared
needed-
at
I just
someone
needed
so
you- I
intensely
just needed you
in
away
her
from-
life.
I just needed you
If you do
away
trickery,
from my brother.
the cost is
Hmm?
1 grit. If it's trickery, just 1 grit. If that's how you wish to negotiate with this demon.
Can I like, because I really just wanted to sort of pull them away and then
Mhm.
send them away. Do
Mhm.
can I sort of dismiss them?
You can try.
I'm gonna try.
Oh Lord.
Make a roll. Tell me what approach you're taking.
I think I'm just gonna try to. I'm really trying to deceive them. It's a deception. Like I'm really just
Mhm.
trying to tell them like I'm trying to act like I have
Mm-hmm.
a lot of power
Mm-hmm.
and that they've underestimated me.
Mm-hmm. I will note you have
I
4
don't
jacks.
have a lot of power.
You have 4 demonology jacks right now that you can also just use for a full-on success if you like. Spend 1 and get an auto success. Just no.
Can I spend 2 for a little extra umph?
Yes, you may.
So it's like, the demon tries to like offer me stuff and it's like, no,
What don't you
Stop
want?
talking. Stop talking. I want you. And I like step up like right near the circle, like almost like face to face. I want you to know who's in control. Now go.
She looks at the barrier between you, the circle that she's inside. She flicks her hand, and the fingers become knives. She puts them away, except for the one on her index finger. And she gets to the edge of that circle that is protecting you from her so that she cannot do damage to you.
Mhm.
Says, "You wish me to go? You'll ask me back. I'm leaving because I..." And she steps outside of the circle. She is not contained. And she just runs the blade right across your collarbone. And when she gets to the edge of your collarbone, she folds up into small angles until she's... And there's just
Ew.
the smell of rotting eggs everywhere. As she disappears, and everybody else in this town is like,
Bella's like, Moses, yep, Moses, don't do that no more. Don't,
But
whatever that.
that's what was forcing. That was what was forcing our hands.
what?
Oh.
What?
Yep.
What? What do you mean?
That was what was forcing poor George's hand.
A demon?
Mm-hmm.
We have to talk to Miss Hattie about this.
Oh, or you could go do what we were previously discussing so that we can go actually make sure that our town doesn't get overrun by other things. And
Priorities, people. You all have jobs. I do not want to have to ask you guys a 3rd time.
And the town...
Especially you guys. And like looks at the guys that were like heckling.
Mm,
Do I need to talk to your mothers?
no. The town starts to move with a quickness because there was a demon here, and that is really distressing.
yeah.
And they
That'll
all
wake you up though.
Yeah. They all start to move, and you can see there's a table here and a table there set up as everybody starts going to where they're supposed to be. And you see a long line of people moving towards the twins on their table. And you see people who are sort of not new to the town, beginning to build and rebuild and try to sort of fix things up. And slowly, As the twins are taking names, you see 2 other twins stepping up to that table to give their name.
We have a meeting at midnight. Okay. And Slim is over there, so Belle is not as worried necessarily because these are things that are controlled. They don't have like a certain level of free will. It's going to turn back to Nari and Moses. Give me a second. She's gonna walk over to George. She says, if you ever want to sit down and have a conversation about what to and what not to look for in a potential partner, we can have that particular conversation. You can even write my uncle. He has hooked so many people up, whether they wanted that to happen or not. I'm gonna need your shoes.
Again?
Yes, again, because can you please give me your shoes? I'm gonna go give them to this, and I'm pretty sure your brother just saved your life, so.
And George takes off his shoes, and I'm going to tell you, these shoes are fancy.
Mm-hmm.
They're very nice shoes. They're nice little boots. He's got spats on them as well. They cost a lot of money. They're very fancy. And he gives you his shoes, and you can tell he's not happy about it, but he also saw a demon. So, you know.
Y'all
Everything is relative.
Yep, y'all can in a specific way. He may have sent the telegram, but you're the one that received it. So, lessons learned. Y'all.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know what half of this stuff means. You have a family that is into some stuff, and what I can say this is, I know that y'all get up to no good because good is a relative thing. Y'all survivors. Lots of people are survivors. I'm going to say this once, I'm going to say this again. As long as you don't do stuff that puts the people in this town in danger, I could care less. I don't care about what happens outside of this town, okay? I hope you do, because if not, you're going to keep attracting people like that.
It wasn't even my fault, though.
What? Okay. We're not going to get into that right now, right? She just popped out of nowhere. You said, oh, you look fancy. Let's come on and go with me.
She said I was very handsome. She never met a man as handsome as I was before.
I'm going to say something that's going to hurt your feelings.
What?
I really am.
What?
That wasn't suspicious at all.
You're right.
You have a wonderful personality, but but sometimes, like,
I'm gonna go.
I mean, I
no, I'm just gonna go get the saloon ready.
Think about that. Just think about that, okay? And then Belle's gonna turn back to Moses with the shoes. Don't argue with me. These are nice shoes. Just put them on. We gotta go ride out.
Thank you.
And
yeah.
Yep. He's gonna need some comfort. I think I just ripped all his self-esteem down. But
you are my new hero, Belle.
I got shot today, and my mother figure passed away, and now there was potentially witches from the old country trying to destroy everything. And people want me to be a sheriff, and I don't even like law enforcement. So I'm having a pretty stressful day. So, yes. She said, get your stuff, get your gear, get saddled up.
So yeah,
I'm putting
out.
I have to check on the twins.
Yep.
Because I don't recognize them.
Slim
so I'm gonna go
it.
make sure they don't. I have to check at least quickly to make sure they don't get touched.
I think we all need to check them out.
Okay, we can check them out. Then we have to go see. I don't even know.
Lord knows where Raiden is right now, or Raiden's fake Raiden. Can't even think about that. Can't even think about that right now. That is you know what? We'll see them when we see them.
And
Raiden's
as you
smart, he'll be fine.
As you ponder that, with these twins have signed up and moved on, in the town, sort of moving about its business to build and try to make its way to get themselves ready for the governor's appearance. In this moment, you can see a dark cloud move across the sun. Chill is the air. And you hear in your mind a scream, more like a howl. Howl that seems and you hear the clinking of chains
No.
in your ears. Very away. But that's where we're going on break, everyone. We're going to have a nice 10-minute break, and when we come back,
Yep.
they're going to figure out what to do about
Now
that.
it's just, well, that'll do it. You do not have to worry about me. You do not have to worry about me.
That was so funny what you said, because that was the first thing I thought. And I was like, can't say it, not there. And then you said it, and I was like, I'm about to pass away, because saying something like that doesn't shock me. You, as Belle saying that about took me out.
Oh, that was the most damage we've done all campaign, my friends.
Yeah.
How long's our break?
10 minutes.
I became one of the undead.
Just, and I came back to life.
We're not on break yet.
I just like when I went back and came over, I died and then came back.
You did.
My friends, we're going to go on a 10-minute break. Stretch your legs, hydrate yourself, and we'll be right back for the end of this extravaganza. We'll be right back, y'all. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our thrilling conclusion to Haunted West, a town called Hope. Our heroes have set up a situation where they are now getting the town to move, to try to get themselves together, to get the town prepared for the governor's visit. But they heard the sound of a wail in their ears and chains clanking. Dark cloud rolls across the sky. A wail in their mind from far away. And so I ask you, my dear player, in this moment, as the town begins its bustling, what do you...
Okay, last we left off, everyone was trying to go to. I know Nari wanted to go check on the
Yes.
twins,
Yes.
and then we had Moses also heading in that direction.
And then you heard the scream, the wail.
Mm-hmm.
Ignoring the whale, frankly. Ignoring it, just, I'm unflappable anyway, as per my proclivity. So I am absolutely big steps, striding, huge grin, full drover mode, charmed to a 10 billion%, which is probably really annoying to one of the twins. It's okay, it's fine. It's kind of like if anybody's seen Encanto, it's like anytime Isabella enters the room and everyone's like, and Mirabella's like, oh. That Nori is Isabel. And hi there. Hi. And kind of subtly puts herself slightly between the twins, by the table, between the twins and the new twins. Hi there. Don't think I've seen your face before.
They smile. And they're like, well, ma'am, we are new to this town.
Well, my name's Nori. These are my beautiful sisters, Sume and Sure, and our eldest sister, Bemori. Welcome to this booth. Is really scraping the mind for any bit of any supernatural lore she has, which is not much, and is just like, hey, don't welcome to town. Don't welcome to town. Welcome to this booth. What are your names?
Oh, I'm Adi, and that's Abe. We are pleased and honored to be here in this town.
Where'd you come from? If I might ask. Somewhat of a wanderer, might have passed by your hometown at some point.
And Abe starts writing her name on the sheet and filling out the form as the twin who doesn't like you very much, points to where to sign things, trying to take a little bit of your shine, but it's not actually working. And Adi says, well, we have traveled far and wide and are happy to be here. We've heard many good things about Hope, and we are happy.
Right. Yes. Happy to have you happy. So where did you say you were from originally?
All over. We've traveled many places, and we are happy to be here.
Okay. Leans down to the twins and is like, do not touch them and keep the salt at the ready. And sprinkles, just casually, one hand in the back, just kind of sprinkles some salt on the table between the twins and these twins. And just there's just salt on the table. It's fine. I mean, this is the Wild West. Things are dusty, things are messy. Salt could be there. And just has this line of salt between the twins and these twins.
So, I imagine we should go and do our work now.
Yes, let me check the sheet. What are they signed up for?
They're signed up for turning over. There's a lot of dead soil. That dead soil needs to be turned over. And so they've been, they're going to be given some shovels and sent over to the field to turn over some of that, that topsoil.
Actually, I think this was a bit of a mistake. We didn't mean to put you here. This actually, no, James?
And James comes over. Yes?
Yeah. I'm moving you from where you were to the tilling. Could you take over the tilling, please?
Okay.
Thank you. And then where were you right now?
I was construction.
Right. So we're gonna have you two go over to construction actually. Especially twins, you guys are very well attuned to each other, I can see. So the coordination is really helpful with building things with wood. Nori is not a carpenter. Does pay attention mildly when James works, but still does not have a real working knowledge of most of this stuff. So it's just like, we're gonna have you in carpeting, actually. And like scribbles their names out there and like writes them down under carpeting and like writes James' names. Very pretty.
And this is when
Little heart at the
Moses
end.
and Belle walk up
Yes.
and they smile at you both. We've only heard very good things about you, and we are very happy to be here in this town.
Right as we're coming up, just whisper into sort of Belle. It's like, do you know how to handle a knife?
Yes.
And I kind of like will then like palm it and sort of pass the karambit over to Belle. We don't need to. It's not going to take much. Just a little bit, and we'll be able to confirm.
And
Over there.
Belle,
I mean, I do. I'm like literally have nothing in knives, which is why I wanted to make sure somebody who actually know how, like
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
end up cutting myself, and I only bleed blood, so that's no good.
okay. Belle is gonna come up and is gonna listen to everything going on. Thankfully, she wasn't there when Nari was like flat out giving their actual names. Like I was just like, oh, I didn't hear that part. But
Names have power.
yeah,
I want to try
I'm
and
very
give a
pretty. I don't
distraction.
have to be that smart. It's fine.
You're smart, just not maybe in the occult. That's all.
Yep.
Sure. Let's do that.
You were saying, Moses?
I wanted to try to make a distraction so Belle can just get that little like cut there. So it's like, where are you from?
Oh, we've traveled very far. And Abe goes, yes, we have. We've traveled very far, and we're very happy to be here in this town.
Yeah, and I mean, you must be from very far away because you are unflappable
Well,
in the face of that demon. Do you see those where you're from?
oh, that was quite frightening. But we know this is a safe place. We're very happy to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, what makes you happy to be here? Is it the work? Is it the people? Say,
It's the friendliness of everyone that we like very much. We love being here at this.
Must have not heard you, Dr. George. Nori says to Belle, slightly behind her hand.
It's a lovely place here. Can we go work now?
Belle is going to step up and during this distraction.
Can I roll? Can I get a deception from you?
Yeah,
Moses.
that's what I need to see if they.
Moses, what's your deception score, by the way?
my deception is 56.
Very nice. Thank you. Give me a deception if you would. 3 jacks. If you like, you can give those jacks to Belle for her.
Absolutely passing them over.
And
That
is this going to
Deception.
need a stealth?
Yes, please.
Do I need to add anything to it at this point, or just roll it and then
You get a
we'll
plus
add?
30 if you like.
Jesus. Okay.
From the jacks.
Oh. Okay. Well, then that makes me happy. Might not make you happy, but it makes me happy for a variety of different reasons.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. They have an observation of 50, which means they get 3 jacks, which means you beat them. This is an opposed roll. Whoever gets the most jacks wins. They do not see you coming.
Okay.
As they stand there, very relaxed and very happy to be. They're both very happy to be.
Mm-hmm. And so in this stealth, it's just going to be her sort of trying to sidle up and nick, like as they reach over to sign, she's gonna have it like slightly palmed, like she's not looking at what she's doing. That's why they're using the stealth, and just sort of gently nick a finger or a hand as it is extended with that knife, but make it look like, oh, I was just trying to point, especially with the distraction.
Tell me what it looks like as you reach out towards them. Because one of them is signing. It's Abe has already signed, so Adi has to sign now. And Adi is reaching out to sign.
Belle.
And they're very like, there's this very sort of like calm relaxedness about them. If you were maybe someone else, you wouldn't think of them. You wouldn't think of anything suspicious about them at all. Although there's something that's slightly odd about their attitude. You can tell they're practiced at being relaxed.
They're very happy to be here.
They're very happy to be here. They're very
so
happy to be here.
And your eyes are so empty, Trooper. My God.
They're very happy to be here.
Belle is gonna to reach out and look and endeavor to gesture with the blade, as if hiding the hilt part of it so they can't see that hilt, but like pointing, and gently flick her wrist so that there is an accidental nick against the hand that's outstretched as she go, hey, I know she put you down for carpentry, but if you do not want to work on the carpentry aspect of things, like you don't know how to use a hammer, you can always put a note there and I'll have you running water back and forth. Like, she's just very endeavoring to be helpful.
And the minute that blade touches the skin, a cut opens up. And you know that because out of the cut is brilliant light that just shoots out of the finger. A bright, sort of white blue light that just emerges as if there were some sort of bulb or something underneath, like a spotlight just sort of pours forth from that small wound. And you can see them. And they... Initiative.
Grabbing the kids, pushing the kids, grabbing the kids.
I need us to roll initiative if you don't mind. That'll be a 1d10 if please. If please.
Do we add anything to it?
It's 1d10 plus you should have initiative skill. They are sitting at a 14.
Okay, here we go. Oh. Not my best roll.
Okay.
8.
6, 8, 9.
All of us have very low initiative skill.
They go first, my friend.
Yep.
The minute you cut them and that light pours forth, they run. Adi runs, just books it. Abe throws a vial at, well, the person who can deal with demons, because that's a dangerous person, throws a vial at you, Moses. If you might, I would appreciate you. I'm gonna roll their skill. They've got a 55. She pulls out this vial. It looks like a test tube with this glow sticks. You like kind of glowy green sort of liquid.
Yeah.
It's like that, and she throws this vial at you. Tell me exactly what you do so that it doesn't hit you.
I actually take my hat off and she's throwing it right at me or at my feet.
Right at you.
Okay, yeah. Like I just like take it and like just scoop it and throw it off.
And this vial sort of flips out of your hat, head over heels, on the ground, and it hits the ground. It sizzles as the vial breaks, and it like you can see the ground where it hits start to like wilt and wither and burn slightly with a kind of you don't know what that is, but it's not good and it's not natural. Yeah. Belle.
Belle is going to untuck that necklace that she is wearing around her neck so that it hangs on the outside. And in that brief moment when they turn, one started to run already, and the one looked like it was on the defense.
Yeah.
And Belle is just going to, with a calm that probably does not match her heart rate, just very calmly say, "You may be happy to be here, but I bet you ain't here by choice." And then she's going to adjust her hold on the knife. And she's really just making sure that, again, she's there to protect Hope. She's not really there to chase monsters. She's just going to say, "If you didn't want to do carpentry, you could have just said it." And just try to make sure that they know we don't mean you any harm, endeavoring to communicate through her tone. But I know, like, we see you. We know why you're here. Like, there could be more that we do here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they kind of pick up from that. And I have an ability I would like to use.
Please do. I want to hear it.
So I have a peculiarity, which allows me 2 times a session to ask for a warning or possible outcomes with her just letting them run versus actually pursuing.
That is, you can do that twice a session, and I will tell you something. Want to know possible outcomes? Remember what Miss Hattie said about the salt circle? And that will protect you, will keep them out, perhaps? And you actually saw that circle. You've seen Moses make those circles before.
Poorly.
Sometimes poorly, sometimes less poorly, sometimes quite well. And in this moment, you remember something odd. And it was about the dead crops. Do you remember those dead crops? Remember how they came out, right? Out of Hope, sort of like emanating out as if they had been walking around. And of course, part of all of that had been protected by Mama Hattie. But now that you think about it, it occurs to you that those dead and dying and withering crops, they only withered to a circle's edge. You do not think they can leave. You think if you let them run, probably they'll hit the edge of some kind of circle that they are trapped in, and they won't be going anywhere. Because if you think about the ways in which you watched, like, that crop wither, you don't think they can leave at all. You think they're bound inside of a circle that's Hope by someone else. So if you let them run, they'll probably run up against their boundary.
They're not escaping. Like, they might be able to hide, but they're not escaping Hope.
No. They can't leave
and so,
here.
Yeah, she's just going to make sure Slim is seeing all of this. Like,
he pulls out his pistol, and he's like looking to you for like,
do not let them breach your mama's protection. Because she knows there is a space that Mama Hattie has protected.
Yeah.
And you look to Nari, and just to let her know that all the kids, everyone you want safe, needs to stay in that range. But this is like quick second, her looking, which is the only thing she can do at this moment.
Nori, what do you do?
Unmute myself. And then following the directions, the eye communication that we are pretty good at, I think, at this point. I have like instantly like jumped in front of the twins, have them like furthest like arm out is in each hand, with Bamori like behind us taking up the rear. And I take that information and I like tell them like quietly like where to go and to stay there. Do not move, do not leave.
Both twins and Bamori, they move very quickly. They do not ask.
Smart.
They go right to Mama Hattie's.
And I say, because I assume James hadn't left for the till yet, and I tell James to do exactly the same thing.
He does. Now, at this moment, most of the Templar have not noticed this. There are a couple of people who have, but they don't. They don't know what's going on. Moses, you have one who's running, one who's there and about to run.
Unmuting. And the one who is about to run through the vial at me.
Yeah. Do you have psychology?
And
do any of you have psychology?
Yes, I do actually.
I have a poor amount of it.
Roll it.
I have a lot.
Roll it. Somebody roll it. Give me some rolls.
Okay. I'm going.
Give me some rolls.
Psychology.
Nothing.
Okay. All right.
Fail. Oh.
They're booking it. That's what you know. Although both of you are within 1 jack's worth of a success.
I have that 1 jack.
You do?
I do. I should spend that. I'm gonna spend that. Let's spend that. It's the finale.
Boom. Spent.
Oh, he's gone.
The one who's about ready to book it, that one, Abe, you think there might be tears coming out of her eyes. And her eyes are dead, but you can tell underneath she's not frightened. She's in pain.
Can I try to, like, when they're running, can I try and like convince one of them, like maybe the one who threw in there was like, hey, we can talk about this. Like I haven't pulled out my gun, right? And I'm like, hey, we can talk. Can I like try a convince roll?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay. Oh, just made it.
Oh, wow. Okay. You also have some jacks just in case. That's a 22, which is an ace, which is very good for me. They make it actually by quite a few jacks, and she looks at you and she says, and you can tell she's like in fight or flight mode, but more like flight or flight mode. And she says, there's nothing you can do to help. And she starts like backing away slowly. She doesn't make any kind of aggressive to attack you sorts of moves, right? Mm-hmm. But she's backing away, keeping you in her eyesight as her brother keeps running to leave town, like he's gonna run out of town. And he's super fast, and you can see that he runs out of the main road, out of Hope, and he runs and he just like hits like an invisible barrier and sort of bounces off and like puts his hands up to try to get out. And she's backing up. She can't see what is happening to him, but she's watching you as she's trying to back out of town. And you can see her brother, just his hands, one finger bleeding light, trying to move past this barrier, and he can't move past the barrier. And you can see him trying to like find a hole or a way out.
Where are you trying to go?
We're very happy to be here.
But where are you trying to go? Let us help you. You saw us with the demon. We can help you.
Can't help. and they have a posture that reads relaxed, but they are crying. And tears are running down both of their faces.
Belle is just going to, they don't have any control. They don't have any power. All they can do is feed. Now they well fed and they can't go nowhere. We need to go find whoever is wailing and still shackled and hope they can see some reason.
We're so happy to be here.
And she looks at it and say, and if you would like to stay here in one piece until we get this relic, you do not feed.
We are so hungry.
Isabella said, you feed, and we release you back to the light. You already ate.
Tonight we feed again.
I think not.
Nari, they don't have a choice. That means we have until nightfall to figure out what's ever controlling them.
Are you saying we can't even restrain them? I don't know anything about the supernatural business, but what are you saying, we can't tie him up? I don't know, irons or something?
We cannot restrain. And then the brother
You don't talk to me,
puts
please.
his hand on this invisible barrier in frustration.
Y'all can. We just not powerful enough to do it.
Oh,
And
don't
Belle,
tell them that.
They know that. That's why she's standing up here looking, oh, we're so happy to be here. We're so happy to be here. And
This
not
is
attacking
so
us.
above our pay grade.
I know, but we got to go meeting
Then
with
let's
the devil
go.
himself.
We gotta go.
She just like looks to Moses. This would be a good time to start racking your hospitality brain on how to help with this.
I mean, I feel like we just have to figure out who's binding them.
Correct.
He is.
Did that map that I'd picked up where our town and our ranch and stuff were marked, did that have any other markings on it?
Give it a deduction.
Hey,
Give it a deduction.
let me check.
Give me some of that. Give me some of that. By the way, James is right here.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a fighter, but he's got a hammer, right? He's picked up his hammer, and he's standing here. He doesn't really quite know what to do, but he's standing here with a hammer.
Oh, honey.
Um,
I told you to go over there. I failed, by the way.
and he just kind of like takes 10 paces back, you know, just, he's got a hammer. Like he's not a fighter, but this is kind of freaky, and he doesn't, you know, he's got a hammer. He's just 10 paces back with his hammer.
I have a gun, honey. So, I appreciate you and your hammer. I appreciate you and your hammer. You and your hammer would be better at building a house.
And he takes like a couple more paces, but he feels bad about leaving you in this situation, you know what I mean?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't no. You know what? You know what? Next time, I promise. Hey, promise. Next time, I need saving. You can all over it. Okay, I promise.
Val is just getting off. Do you want him to work with Slim so he feel like he's protected?
Please.
All right.
Okay,
James,
thank you.
You know how stuff is built.
Yeah.
I need you to go ahead and make sure all of the doors, the windows, everything that can potentially be broken in the area of safety we have pointed out are as secure as can be.
Okay. And he goes off feeling like he's got a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And the two twins are just standing by this barrier, sort of stuck.
Now, do y'all actually want to work and help us with something as we try to figure this out, or do you just want to stand here and look at people like you hungry?
We can help before night.
Okay.
If you feed on the human I just talked to, I don't care what forces of nature, magic, supreme, whatever, I will find skin on you and skin you alive until you return to that light source you done came from. Do you understand?
At night we
Fucking God. If you feed on him or hurt him until then, you're done. Okay?
We're happy to
It's
be
gonna be
here.
at night we feed. Okay, go.
Okay,
Just
they-
go build houses. Go build houses.
No,
Build a house.
they are
This is so
not
rough.
free. Imagine having a hunger that you can never satisfy, but no control over your own autonomy.
What I know is that creature is way above my concept of this universe, and it does not come from my gods. So I want nothing to do with it. Let's go. Let's get them out of here. Let's kill that old fart. I'm so sure it's him. There's no one else that could possibly be doing this. I don't know what we have to do, but between him and those shackles and them being stuck here, something is adding up, and I don't like this map.
Shackles?
We need to go.
Hmm.
What?
You know
What?
something about some shackles?
We are so happy to be here.
Oh my God! You actually can't say anything else.
But yeah. Then she pauses for a moment and looks down at the dirt, and then looks at them, and looks down to the dirt.
And they look at each other. And one, with their toe,
Mm-hmm.
draws a J.
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay.
And the other one, with their toe, draws the W before the J.
Mm-hmm.
And they look up at you. And they say, we are so happy to be in this town.
Okay. All right. Okay. I have a one
Wait.
question before we leave. Have you ever come to this town before? You can do a Y on the floor for yes.
Clap once for yes, clap two times for no.
Blink twice if you need help.
Type F to hit pay respects.
We have
Just a Y on the floor is for yes.
Abe puts a Y
Mm-hmm.
and they both look at each other, trying to figure out how they can say what they say. One said, we are happy to follow you. It makes us very happy to have followed you for some time. And we are so happy to be in this town.
Mm.
They killed my dad.
Okay, no, they,
Oh.
no,
Mm.
they are the instrument.
We need to go. We need.
They
Yeah,
are
they're the instrument. Cool. Yes, we need to go before I break the
Okay.
instrument. Let's go.
Listen, she just lets Nari walk to Moses. This
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have to head out, and she turns to them and asks, "Just ask a question. This ain't gonna probably go against anything that you can't say. But were you born into this, or were you made this?"
And Abe, the sister, we were born free. Travel like the wind, the light. Fly.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We have not flown.
Nods. Sometimes we figure out freedom ain't so free.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna turn and walk with the others and just quietly say,
Mm-hmm.
"That's actually a good thing." But that's actually the best thing I heard all day. It like, just seems to come out to her. She's like that. Whew, I didn't heard that. We didn't got a lot of bad news today, but that is actually good news. Nara, that means they don't want to be here. This is not what they were put here to do. And
Great.
I think the good news is going to last just until we get to Jonestown, and I think
Yep.
we got a ghostly horse rider of bad news to deal with.
you mean death?
Hmm.
All right. Well, just make sure you're locked and loaded and said all the respects that you want to say, because we're about to go fight for hope, which is next to love about the only thing worth fighting for.
I'll need 1 minute and then we're ready to go.
Just take all the minutes, make sure that you got your ring finger and measured.
Oh, he told me you already told him that one. So he's all set. My apologies for anything he might have said in his excitement. He gets very excited.
He's just like a puppy.
He is.
And you really can't say no, because he just shows up and he's like, but I love her. And you're like, oh, okay. And you just give some information.
Yeah, it's okay. I like it. Yeah, I'll take a few minutes and then let's go.
And then Bella's going to, she knows Slim is there. She knows that Slim knows how to handle stuff. She looks to the two things, make sure they're working, make sure George is working, and just makes her rounds before going to go get her horse and get her stuff loaded and ready to go, because outside of Mama Hattie and her roommates, she doesn't have family here. So there's a moment of feeling that for a moment as she gets herself ready.
Moses?
I think my getting ready is just stopping by the guest house, getting, and and my way of honoring Hattie is sort of getting like kind of like different rings and things. She got me and sort of putting them in pockets, sort of kind of like like sort of like her knickknacks are my armor right now.
Yeah. Nori.
Oh boy. Yep. Nori does the normal obligatory runs by the sisters. Doesn't want to tell them how serious what she's about to do is, though, because they, this is a nomadic family that's been split most of their lives.
Yeah.
So they did not grow up together. She grew up with Mitsa and Ahui. And Ahui's back at their aunt's. Mitsa and Bahui are traveling. So Bamori, Sume, and Sure did not grow up together with Nori, but they still love each other. It's just that they don't need to know this. So she just gives some instructions that are very casual about how to stay safe. Because as far as like running things, Ahui's got it if something happens to Nori. So just like, make sure that they know that she loves them and that she'll see them soon. And then she goes up to James, who's probably standing by the
Are you kidding?
Slightly away. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, he's just hovering. He's hovering.
Yeah.
He's hovering.
He's hovering. Poor baby.
With his hammer, right?
No, yeah, no, absolutely. Has he hammered something? No, but he's got it.
No, but he's got a hammer. It's a bit more of a mallet, but He goes, you're going to go off and do the thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I have to go do the thing. One more, little travel before I'm done.
I have a box for you. It's small, but you can't have it till you come back. So you have to come back.
When have I ever not come back to you?
Okay, so make sure you come back.
Well,
everybody's cooking food.
Right. You eat some of that, please. You cannot get married on an empty stomach, is what I've heard.
I've heard that too, and also, just come back. I'm waiting.
You're always waiting.
I always will.
And then hopefully nobody's looking, but also she doesn't care.
Yeah.
he gets a big kiss, the big like arms wrapped around kiss, and tries not to let it feel like a goodbye type kiss, so much as like, I will see you tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll make you very sure. Yes.
If I'm late, just save me a plate at home.
I have fry bread and stew.
Perfect. Sorry about the wall again.
Okay. Miss Bell, just don't let her do any trick shooting. You know,
What? Oh,
she sometimes shows off.
I'm about to show up. Anyway, you. That was unnecessary. I don't show off. Anyway.
You were standing on top of your horse.
Okay, that was necessary. I needed the height. And he gets like a pinch to the face, like when they were younger. And she like takes the step back and gets back off. And just goes on his chest, just like, I will be home tonight. And then you better give me that box. So help you God. So help you all the gods.
All right.
And that box better not be empty.
It's not?
It's like a little shove.
It's not?
And she walks away before she can change her mind. Oh, poor babies.
And you three travel toward Johnstone's refuge. And as you pass the threshold of hope outside of the city limit, the two twins watch you step across that barrier that they can't step across. And they watch you as tears come down their faces. And they go back to. And you travel towards Johnstone's refuge, knowing or hoping that Raiden is there. And as you move towards this town, it takes you a while, about a half day's ride. And as you arrive, it's dark into the city. The town is just as you remember when you first came together as a posse. All the houses look exactly the same, painted exactly the same, all the exact same angle. And as you crest the hill and you see it, you can see the lights on in this town, and you can see people in the distance moving about, shuffling perhaps, going about their evening. Full, busy, bustling town. Do you enter?
We were invited to meet outside the town. We were not invited to meet inside of Whitestone.
That is correct. You
Johnston.
were not invited to meet inside of Johnstone.
Maybe we should go in because we weren't invited. Maybe there's something he doesn't want us to see in there.
There's something trapped there or nearby. We're gonna have to go in eventually, but I'm not walking into a trap.
You're right. Should we make ourselves known then? And like she lifts the pistol to shoot it into the air. It's not a trick. It's just an announcement.
She looks to Moses and then looks to Nara and then looks at the town that she hopes Raiden is in, because that's where they met last time.
It is.
And
do I detect any weird activity?
What an interesting question.
Oh boy.
Let me ask you, when you see something strange, what does it look like to you? Sometimes you can see, like with those people, you could see like underneath, you know what I mean? To see like a kind of a like a double vision. What does it look like to you in some way? Is it like an aura? Is it a color?
It's like almost like an overlay,
Mm-hmm.
almost kind of like a weird kind of screen print, like a kind of color
Mm-hmm.
might kind of go over, like wash over a thing, but it's
Mm.
like not, it's splotchy and not sort of necessarily matched to it.
Mm-hmm. I would like to tell you you don't see anything.
Uh-huh.
I would like to tell you, but that would be a lie. The people of this town, they're strolling about like any other person having a lovely, probably 8 o'clock, 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and you see people walking about the town, doing the things that people do, putting water in the horse trough, setting up a light, moving across, and everything looks fine except for the strange underlay, overlay. They all look dead or trapped. They look like bodies with no spirit, as if their spirit has been stolen. They are just now bodies, doing what they're told, fixing up the town. And I should tell you, this town looks, every shop, every place is perfect. And there's a banner welcoming the governor, huge banner over the opening gates of the city, the town really. But the people who all are dressed in fine clothes, you can see in that bocce, they have no spirit. Spirits have been stolen. And they move enslaved with no free will, following orders given to them by someone. And you even recognize one or two of them from before, died in the fire, and here they are, moving. Just following the way they've been told to follow. Barely even recognizing or seeing. And the heart of the city. Power.
I think there's something in the center there. Nori, didn't you see him looking for something last time we were here?
Yeah, he was digging at the ground. He's digging at the ground. Also to chat, Raiden is not dead. Raiden is off.
Raiden is mysteriously missing.
Correct.
But yeah, he was digging at the ground when I pulled him out, which, my God, I should have let him burn.
We should try and sneak in and go figure out what might be there.
If I can remember where it was, maybe we can dig at it. Maybe it's still there. He didn't get it. I mean, at least not then. I'm sure by now he has, but I pulled him away from it before I could even see what it was.
Yeah, let's go.
And Bella's gonna say, before y'all go in there, and gonna explain to them what a Bokor is, and is going to explain that the only ones who truly have this type of control would be someone who has that ability, and that if somebody has managed to control one of them, and kind of stress to them that we're not dealing just with someone who is dabbling, we're dealing with someone who has made several deals and created an intersection of knowledge that should never be combined. so that Moses has a better idea of just kind of how serious it's more than circles. This is old. This is ancient. Comes from the depths of the earth and the legacy of blood, sweat, and tears.
It is the
In a land
stealing.
that is not protected.
It is the theft of someone's spirit, someone's
Yep.
body.
Well, let's go steal it back.
Okay, well, while you're in there, let Mr. Johnstone know that I'm outside waiting for him, and just looks at Nari to shoot the gun, because Belle fully
Okay.
intends to be on the outside, even if she looks like she's by herself, waiting for Mr. Johnstone so they can have
Yep.
a conversation.
Nori shoots it to announce and also draw attention to that spot, and then very quickly rushes away, leaving so we're leaving the horses because we're trying to sneak, so leaving Aruche
Right.
there and giving Aruche, holding Aruche's face and being like, you stay here, okay? You stay here, stay with Belle. Good Belle. Good girl. Okay. And rushes off quickly with Moses, who now has shoes, so you can walk properly without getting.
I need
a
a stealth from you both.
Oh, bad.
Oh, I just realized Belle is the best at stealth. But anyways, she's just staying by.
I'm literally loud professionally, so
It's true. Mm-hmm.
let's
But
see.
let's see how that. But you
where
also
that
both have
is.
Jack, so you can get an auto success.
So, about that demonology, Jack.
Yes, you have 2 of them.
Yeah. I don't have anything in stealth.
I feel like there's this sort of after call effect. We'll just call it demon afterglow,
Sure.
right? And then there's this trace and especially because it's especially potent because I actually didn't use the call.
Yeah.
Like when I called it, I was like, okay, send it back. And so I have this sort of energy there, and sort of it's not the full call, it's just almost like a whisper of the name, right? And kind of I'm just sort of murmuring it and stuff and using it to kind of create shadow
Absolutely.
for me.
Absolutely.
And then just walking in that shadow.
Yeah. Moses, you're going one direction. Encased in shadows through this town. Nori, you go the other. As you are sneaking, you are certain no one notices.
I'm about loud as hell.
And then you bump into one of the towns. Just boom. Right in front of your face. Right there is one of these townspeople. What do you do?
Well, pockets, salt. I threw salt right at its face.
The townsperson, by the way, doesn't react to you at all.
Does it react to the salt to the face?
Isn't that interesting?
Salt.
Belle,
Oh.
you stand there at the gates of Johnstone. And you can hear the spur. And you can see the man walking down the city center towards you. He has his long black coat, his slightly desiccated skin, as he walks down the center road of his home, his town, and he walks towards you. He said, Miss Belle, it is a fine pleasure to be here at Johnstone. Moses, you sneak deeper into the city center. And as you pass, unseen You see each of these people, the townspeople, there are quite many of them, and each of them walk as if by rote, doing the things they were programmed, shuffling by. And you walk by through each one of them, as if you were a ghost, until you make it just passing by old William Johnstone, who doesn't even notice you, to the city center, where there is a plain plaza, simple dirt space with one thing on it. Like there's a lump on the ground, like a little dome that seems to be hastily made, fresh, it looks like. A little bit off to the side. Nori, you throw salt in this person's face. Why would you do that? That seems rude. Why would you do that?
I have Belle's voice in my head. You see something unnatural, put salt between you and it, and technically, if it falls down, that's between us, and, can't hurt to give me a head start to book it.
You throw it in its face.
I'm so sorry.
And this person inhales the salt.
Oh. Oh my God. Am I a witch?
Dang.
What?
Dang.
You're welcome. Okay. Are you oh my God. Are you
And
you
it
gonna kill me?
turns and it begins
Okay.
walking
Okay.
towards the graveyard of Johnstone's refuge.
God. Okay. Oh God. Okay. Well, I know what to do.
And you
Okay.
see it beginning to walk towards this graveyard that has headstones for all the people who died here. And you can watch it as it begins to move. And as it begins to move, the glamour that was on it begins to fade. And you can see that this person is not alive anymore. And now they realize it.
Oh.
And the spell has been broken.
All right. Sick. I'm a genius. Okay.
And
Cool.
they begin to walk.
Nori is no longer bothering to sneak around. Nori is now running up to anybody they see and throwing salt in their face.
Okay, you start doing that.
I am a genius.
Belle.
You are welcome.
This is a clear lesson for people to use seasoning.
And to F around and find out.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to handle this moment as a gunfight, a gunslinging duel, which happens in 3 phases, my friend, dear Belle.
Oh boy.
Johnstone, William Johnstone, walks up to the edge of his town, and he goes, "Yes, it is good to see." And he sort of moves back his coat, revealing his pistols, and he smiles. Phase 1, the call out. This is the moment in the duel where you assess each other. I'm going to assume that the members of this duel are you and he, while the other 2 are doing other things. Is that correct?
That would be why she's got a quiver and a bow.
And he wants to kill you. What do you want?
I just want to protect. Really? Belle just wants to protect Hope. She wants She wants things that are meant to be free to be free.
All right. And so, this is when you call each other out. You may use whichever skill you think will be best for you to call this man out. You can think about expression, psychology, style, wily, how you want to present yourself as part of this call out. This will be an opposed call.
An opposed call out. I'm not scary. I'm a 5-foot squat person with a bow and arrow.
Oh, you're scary enough.
How do you want to call him out?
It has to be something in resolve.
No, it could be personality as well. This is you want to get like a psychological edge on him of some sort. So personality, some resolve skills. You could do like bluff, convince. There's a lot of personality in there. Might be able to do intimidation as well for you call out. And see, you've got some options. This is the moment where you're trying to psych him out in the call out. And
I mean, I have something that I can use. It's not very high, but I think it would be applicable.
Please.
Considering the fact that she's endeavoring to draw all the smoke, whether it's successful or not. So I will roll this and probably not succeed, but let's see, that's intimidation. Oh, okay, crap.
Ooh, that is an ace success.
Yep.
By the way, you rolled doubles, 22 ace success. We have some things to note. By the way, I'm gonna roll his intimidation. And I want to know how you two try to out intimidate each other. By the way, he's got a. That is not what his skill is. So I just want us to note that. You got that way. You got one Japs with an ace success. All right. This will be good for you, less good for him. So he walks up to you. And he says, well. I'm glad to see you in my town. You won't be leaving.
Belle takes a deep breath. Well. I see that the fact that you can't respect boundaries means that you don't recognize them as well. I am not in your town, so like you're on that side of the town line, and I'm like her intimidation is showing no fear, and just so. Did you have to pay the Bokor, or did you do like a lot of your people do, and you just went to go take it?
Does not like the fact that you do not seem to be intimidated by him. Doesn't like that at all. No, that's no good. That's no good at all. So you have one jack, but you also have an ace, which in this case I believe gives you. Oh well, you have a couple options here. You can, let's see, this is a bit of an important moment for you, and I feel like we should ponder this second because we want to make sure we get this correct. You can, if you like, and I'm going to tell you, the jokers you have, you're going to bank for the next round or the final round, and it's winner take all. So ponder that for me. You can give him, let's see, a condition, if you like. Let's see what condition might be best for this. Let's see, how about, feel like that'll be right about, let me see, you can give him, a feared, you could do that. So you could give him, if you have feared him, that's going to make him, it's going to give him negatives to his calls and tests for the next 10 minutes, if you would like.
So it's not automatic. I have to decide that's what I want to do is
Mhm.
fear him.
You can fear him. You could, let's see. You're not stabbed him. Cossack's not going to work out. Crushing's not so good. You could get him riled up, which would give him like a, put him in a rage, put him at minus 10%, although a feared puts him at minus 20. You could give him some despair. You could, I feel like a feared is probably the best one here.
From the approach of her endeavoring to communicate that I know that you are dabbling in something that is not meant for you, and considering her lineage, she is speaking almost possessively of a history that people have no place to taint. So I think her resolve comes from that, and she wanted to shake him up to show that I see you.
Yeah. We're going to put to the side one jack. Would you like to use that jack in the next round or the final round?
I have jacks left from other stuff in my pool. So we'll just put in the next one.
All right.
So I think I have 4 jacks I still have not used.
All right, then. Moses. This is round 1. Calling out the bell as they stand, and he has a look in his eye that you know too much, and that is him. Moses, what do? You notice near the city center there's like a bit of earth that's been dug up and sort of put back. Sort of a slightly out of the way, not so obvious.
I mean, I'm gonna go up to it and try and clear, dig up the mound, basically.
It's very shallowly done. This is not the center that, this doesn't seem to be what Nori described to you. When you dig it up, you find a gadget. It has Raiden's name all over it. And it is like a pair of wire cutters. But the wire cutters are sort of, the snaps are quite large. Like they could kind of cut through something quite thick. But it is itself, it has a bit of a glow about it, a bit of a magical glow. There's something strange about it. This is not normal. And in the corner, there's a little tag that says, "My friend, Raiden."
I was like, "Thanks, Raiden. What am I supposed to cut with this?"
Nori, roll 1d10.
1d10.
Yes,
okay.
please.
Oh boy. This better be to roll how many zombies I can cure in one
It
go.
is. It is indeed.
wow,
That is
okay.
exactly what it is. How did you know?
I'm psychic.
Yeah, I do.
8.
8.
It's a bunch of them.
You throw salt in these people's faces so it gets in their mouths, into the air, and each time you do, you break the spell on them. And you see them recognize what has happened to them. And one by one, they each go back to their graves to get their final rest.
Well, that is incredibly sad. Nori's trying not to focus on that so much as on cool, great, rest in peace, bye. And then next person, cool, rest in peace, bye. And it's just going back and forth. I'm sure some of them are like snakes, don't, it's fine, go, it's fine, go, bye. And is just running at like full tilt, grabbing more and more little bits of salt. Luckily, it doesn't need that much, so
Mhm.
it's stretching pretty far. Just absolutely running up to each one, trying not to touch them because that's pretty gross. Eat into face, continue moving.
And then round 2. Sizing each other up. This is that moment in the duel where you try to figure out what their weaknesses are, how you can get the edge in this moment. You know? At this moment, I'm going to need you to make a roll. As you two stand there and the night begins, I need you to size him up. So, I want you to describe to me how you are preparing, posturing, or attempting to disrupt or distract this man. It's time to raise the stakes. How are you going to throw him off before the guns start blowing?
Which bundle of skills do I have to?
You tell me. How are you going to try to throw him off?
Is this just to get a read or just to throw him off?
This is a throw him off. This is like, it's also to get a read. So you can use psychology, right? You're trying to get a sense of, you want to throw him off and also figure out his weakness.
I think I was going to use observation with the concept of never breaking eye contact.
Ooh, I like it.
Because her main thing that keeps running through her mind is, I see you. Like, you've endeavored to operate in shadows. And I see you. Like, but let's see. So you want me to roll observation?
Yes, please. And I love this stare down. And as you do this, he puts his hand out like this. And he says some mumbled words. And smoke starts coming off of his hands. And he's trying to show you the kind of power that he...
Yeah. Okay, let's see what I need to roll if I can click.
He's got a 65 in his demonology.
Oh, no.
He gets 2 jacks.
Of course he does.
You have 2 jacks. You carry that one over, which means you beat him by 1. Would you like to carry that last jack on into the third round?
Mm-hmm.
The final.
Of course.
Indeed, so you do. And so he has smoke that starts billowing out of his finger as he gets his hands ready to draw. He says, "You do not know how much I control." And you can see the shackles glistening around his wrists. You I control.
No, I say, and I do not care. It's...
Nori, you see Moses at the city center.
Yes,
Moses,
I do.
you are at the city center. What do you two?
Moses, if you throw salt in their mouths, it cures them, sends them right back to their graves.
Ryden left me a gift.
The hell is that? What is
there
it?
something? They're like big cutting things, right? Is there something?
You know those ones you'd get
visible
like if you left your lock on your school locker and they had to come
The
out and get
bolt
the
cutter?
big bolt cutters. Yep. Mm-hmm. But weirdly magical.
Okay.
Do they seem drawn to anything? Like if I hold them out, or like
They're shackles. They're shackles. The shackles. Maybe the shackles. The ones on his wrist. Maybe you can cut them with that. I don't know. I can't think of anything else to cut. Don't cut the zombies. They're just dead people.
okay, so let's find. So should we find the?
Well, the shackles are on the dude, and the dude is with Belle, I assume. Why would he? Why would Raiden leave them here? What else? Is there some like? Let me check my things to see if there's something I could roll to see
You
if I
do
can
remember
infer what is
that
correct.
this is where the city center was, where he was digging.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, wait.
Right. So we got to keep digging for the shackle. Actually.
Yes, we do have to keep digging.
I need
Oh no.
what?
We do have to keep digging. Okay.
Yes,
yeah,
you do.
I don't have.
I'm gonna need from you, physique.
Wait. Okay. Well, that should be okay.
I need
think.
both of you to roll physique,
Famous last words, but I think
if you
that's
please.
okay.
1, 6. Ooh, success.
Are we going to need a few jacks on this one, or do we just need one?
More jacks the faster you dig.
I just have the one sitting
Yep.
there,
Mhm.
so that I'll use. That.
I have one last demonology jack, right?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Let me toss this one for you.
Please do.
I was just like, okay, can I use it to just make sort of like one last like call of this thing? Like I'll like actually say like not a little mini baby one, like a real like, all right, favor for favorite time. Show me where the shackles are.
Bell, you have everything at your advantage for the third and final round, but I ask you, do you want to give up and walk away from this? The last round. You can walk away and let him have whatever he wants.
I really can't because I have a negative peculiarity. Where I have a duty to my time. So.
In which case, this is it. This is the final moment. And I'm going to tell you, he knows something that you don't know. You can tell in his eyes. He does not feel nervous about this at all. You'll need to roll your archery. This is the last and final round. This is everything.
With the targeting on it.
Please. And he too will roll his.
So I have that, and then I have 4 jacks in my back pocket. Okay.
Yes, you do. And one more. You have one more.
And we've automatically applied that one to this.
Now, his pistol is 70, but you've feared him, so it's only a 50.
Mm-hmm. The 50 is still pretty good odds, though.
He rolls an 84.
Oh, Jesus.
At the moment.
See.
Oh, no! Spend a grit.
I have not spent any grit, which I can.
Yeah, you probably want to do that.
Guess what?
I can.
Can't spend grit in a duel.
Okay.
Oh, no. Oh. And it's a joker?
Mm-hmm. Your bowstring snap.
Mm-hmm.
Hit him with it. Hit him with it.
And he stands there and he laughs. My friends, he has won the day. He's won, he's vanquished you all lose. Except 2 people he does not know about are digging in the city center.
Digging like a dog that can't find a bone, let me tell you.
And as
clawing at the earth. Thank God I don't have my ring on.
And as he laughs with your broken bow, he resets his gun, he said. Well, well, well. And he spins the... It seems as if luck has run out. And he aims his pistol right at you. There in the middle of the night, he has everything going for him, and you are right where he wants you to be. And in that city center, you dig up, you dig until you hit a box. a box that is wrapped in silver chain, about so big,
Cut.
and it glows.
Cut.
And he cocks the gun, pulls back the hammer, certain of his triumph.
Cut.
Cut the chains.
Cut the
Yeah.
chains.
Yes.
Cut the chains. Do you open the box?
Absolutely.
He begins to squeeze the trigger as you open the box, and inside the is a beating human.
That's disgusting.
Thump, thump,
Stab it.
thump. You stab it?
Actually crush it with my bare hands. Don't have a dagger.
Grab
Absolutely. This dude killed my dad.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely tearing it apart with my bare hands.
Outside, him on the inside of his town, you on the outside, Belle. He smiles as your bow string has snapped and he still has. And as he squeezes that trigger, he pauses a moment and he says, "You know, I was cheating. Even if you didn't." He just taps where his heart was,
Think again, asshole.
smiling. And then something happens. No. And as Moses and Nori, you rip at this heart, he starts to bleed. No. And he turns to run back to the city center where his heart is. And he takes one step and collapses as he starts bleeding from his mouth. And he looks back to you, Belle. No. And he falls. His pistol slips out of his hand. The shackles bright on his wrists. Nori, Moses, you destroy this heart.
Viciously.
And you hear the wail. Stop. And then you hear a door open, like root cellar. And Belle, you see him first. A man, dark, in a suit, a top hat, with stick, small, shrunken head on. And he walks out, and his clothes are in tatter. And he has shackles on him. And he has bottles on string. Smoke inside. And he steps out of the cellar. He looks around. And he clearly has not been fed well. He said, "Ooh, has freed me." He looks at you. "I know you. I know your mother."
I broke my bow.
"I see. You will not die this day."
Whew. Um,
"I will speak to the Loa on your behalf." I need my shackles cut.
I'm a little bit scared to go into that town because every time I do, I get really hurt. But I think something might be in there that some people.
Who will cut my shackles?
Oh boy.
Y'all better come cut these shackles. I just got a knife.
Oh,
She's
okay.
holding some knife.
Okay.
I feel like we'd be approaching.
Yes.
Yeah,
there
I have
sort
I
of
have
thing.
like the blood all over me, all over my hands. They're kind of gross. I gotta wash them real bad. I'm coming up.
And there's a man
I also have the heart because I took it with
Yeah.
me so we can burn it.
powerfully
Like the
built,
house.
but clearly been drained, right? And he says, "Cut my shackles."
Don't make no eye contact. Just do it. Just cut. Just cut.
There you go.
The man cut the shackles on his wrists. I will not speak your name out loud, he says to me. But I thank you. And you, the smell of that demon is upon you. You should
Me?
be careful, says to Moses.
Oh, good. Thank God.
You should be careful with that. And you, turns to Nora. The ghostly horses are.
They're
Beware,
not.
beware. The low of the crossroads. I will make a sacrifice. Shall watch out. There. This town. Burn it to.
Got it.
And he tips his hat. And he starts walking out of the town. He walks by the body of Johnstone. Looks at it. Says, well, some people should never have had. And he walks down the road outside of Johnstone's refuge. And you can barely see him. As if fire.
I'm gonna throw the heart into the fire so I don't have to make my own. That's practical.
The fire burns green as it consumes the town.
She just looks to the others. I broke my bow.
Mm.
You are bloody.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Moses, I would do some research to keep that trifling heifer of the scissored knife thing away. You probably are very aware of what we have just witnessed, so we don't have to put words to it. By the way, I feel we should have no more secrets, especially considering. Okay, let's walk. She's walking backwards away from the green fire.
Same. Yep. Following.
So y'all know me as Belle Boudreaux because of my uncle. My name, she looks at the thing, is actually Mabel Broussard, but that is not really relevant to anything or anyone. I just wanted to say that out loud right now. I almost got shot, y'all. I know it. I know I almost got shot. I'm so glad y'all went in that town.
I cured a lot of zombies because I panicked and I threw salt in their faces and it cured them.
That's wonderful. And Moses, you got that looks like something.
Raiden left us a gift.
That was look at that. Just so sweet. Ain't even nobody's birthday.
He wasn't in there, you don't think? Right? He was gone. He was safe.
For my sanity's sake, we are
Yeah,
going
let's
to.
I mean, I hope
assume
so.
that. Yeah.
Maybe he's already on his way home. Maybe he just had to deal with that twin things, or that
I'm s-
doppelganger thing.
I love your sisters to pieces, but I'm so sick of twins right now. I'm just so sick of twins.
It's all right. I think they were gonna be moving on with Bahui when she comes back too. So, I think Bamori's staying on as the town healer, medic, trainer, but I think the twins are eager to get out. So that works for all of us. I mean, they'll stay for the wedding, which I gotta wash my hands. I think I'm gonna be proposed to tonight.
Belle just straps the bow back to her back, looks at the burning town, and just says, "That is what you call an all-consuming fire, and that is why in our town of Hope, we are calling on nothing to help out the town, but you please keep your stuff to your hospitality house, um,
Please
because
double check those circles, man.
Yeah, thin.
maybe invest in some triangles, maybe try a square.
Maybe that's better.
Maybe you just got to do some experimentation.
Stars are nice. Do a star.
No. We're not gonna do stars. That's just
Not gonna help?
stars. No.
And
That's
as the
Do a
three of
moat.
you walk back to town, we will draw the curtain. For another time will be a wedding, a reunion, and ghostly footsteps on the horizon. This has
Lord.
been a town, Haunted West, a town called Hope, and I want to absolutely thank my players very, very much for everything they've done. So let us, as we go out and about, let us go around and thank all of the people who've been here. I want to thank, first of all, Little Red Dot, who is our producer, who is not here right now. Also, our mods, that Salty Ginger, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here so we could end this moment. And I'm so excited we got to do a gunslinger duel for a finale. And he actually had put his heart in that box, so he was sort of cheating. He was figuring that if he got shot, he'd be fine. But he wasn't fine, as it turns out, because
It was extremely nice to rip his heart apart.
Ooch! So, could we go around and say who we are, give some hype, give some love, and we're going to go reverse order. So I want to go first with Brandy.
Yes. Hi guys. Hello. I am Brandy, the Brandy Rose. And before anything else, I, honest to God, I mean, playing with you guys has been a total joy. You guys have been fantastic and amazing, and you're all so talented, and I'm very excited to work with all of you again someday. But if I had to shout out one thing that I just like, truly, it was that didn't strike you as suspicious. I about died. I about passed away. I about mimicked this old fart. I that was the funniest thing. I hope somebody clipped that. If not, I will go back and clip it myself. That was extremely funny. It was so funny. It was so well timed. It was just like 10 out of 10. The whole reaction, the whole everything was great. Everybody was fantastic as always, though. But that like one moment for sure was just wow. As for me, I am Brandy Rose at the Brandy Rose on Twitter, at Brandy Rose Official on Instagram, and Cutest Patoot here on Twitch, where I teach game design. I'm also the head and lead producer, creative producer for Patoot Podcast, my podcast network, which has almost 10 shows in its roster. I do also host another show, so that is technically 10, but that one does not belong to my podcast network. Most recent show that's been announced is To Be Movie or Not to Be Movie. Be Movie the genre, not Be Movie Jerry Seinfeld.
Hey, but
B movies the genre.
I'm into it.
The genre. Don't even.
I'm into B movies.
Yes, B movie's fantastic. The B movie, no. Have not seen it since it came out. Will not make a podcast about it. But the coolest thing is I actually have a co-host and co-producer for that show at Kappa/Christian. So very, very excited to do that show together. It's just a joy. So very, very excited for all the announcements coming out. And I'm actually going to start recording the next seasons of CGI, Cringe Warning, and Eat Crit, as well as its sister show, Quick Start. So if you like TTRPGs, if you like nerdy things, if you like indie TTRPGs and the people that create them specifically. If you like game design, I teach game design on my Twitch channel at semi-regular times. They'll be more regular after I'm finished moving. I have a talk show coming out soon that'll be on Twitch as well. So make sure you guys just check out all of the stuff that I'm doing. It'll all be announced on Twitter at the Brenda Rose, where I never stop talking. And then I'm always for hire for more things with Roll20, but also just more things as a performer, hesitant tech producer, creative producer for sure, and jam. So yeah, that's been me. Thank you very much for having me here. It's been a total honor to play with you guys.
Well, I mean, I hope we can get some kind of sequel, because I need to have a wedding. I need to have all sorts of
Hope so too.
mysteriousness.
I want to see James be happy when Nori comes home alive.
Because there's I want you all to imagine I want you to imagine it. I want you to imagine that those two Obayifu have left town. The minute that barrier went down, they're out of here. They were like, we gotta go. Honey, you're next up. Who are you? Give some hype, give some love.
Hello, everybody. I am Honey, aka Honey and Dice. You can find me on Twitter at Honey and Dice. You can find me on Instagram at Honey and Dice. There is one post on that particular Instagram that says Honey and Dice, and online honeyanddice.com. That's pretty much where you can find me. I run games, write games, play games, but most of all, I'm just everyone's biggest cheerleader. And in hyping everybody up in the way that I always do, I had a wonderful time. It was a wonderful cast. It was a wonderful storyteller. Our production team was amazing, and I feel very honored that someone thought to reach out to me and ask me to join this particular cast. As always, I want everyone who is watching, everyone who is playing, and everyone who will watch in the future to remember to love your you. Like Belle said, two of the most powerful things and the two of the most things worth fighting for in life is hope and love. And we live in a time where those two things seem to be very visually scarce, but they're there. So remember to love your you, because you're worth it. My world is a better place simply because you exist in it. And I hope whether this is evening, nighttime, morning, your lunchtime that you're seeing this, that you remember that you are worth it.
And Quinn, who are you?
Yo.
Give some hype, give some love.
Hey, Quinn Murphy, computer nerd by day, game designer pretty much all the time. You can find me online, generally ranting about game design stuff at QH_Murphy. So I definitely have to give a nod for the Belle's conversation with George that killed me completely. But also, I really just like the pacing of that our last kind of triple scene together, how the scene sort of like came together, and then like Vortex in there. So that was just like primo stuff.
So good. Loved it. Oh, Danny, Brutal Dan, who is wonderful, warm, and cuddly. Send Dan all sorts of love right now. Follow Dan. Give Dan love.
Send him vibes.
Vibes. Give all the vibes. And then I'm Trooper SJP. I am your GM. I have been your GM for Haunted West. And you can find me on my Twitch channel, Trooper SJP, on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern. I run, at the moment, I'm running a French French resistance campaign, and sometimes I do little one-shots in there as well. And that's where you can find me on my channel. But most importantly, I want to give all the love to everybody who's been part of this show. It has been such an honor and so wonderful to run it, and I couldn't be happier for the best players, and I was so glad to show off a bunch of the different parts of this game. And I want to thank most especially Chris Spivey for making this game, as well as Harlem Unbound, such a smart and cool individual who's pretty neat. And I would say, give the game a try if you like it. It's got a lot of really neat things in there. There are also, in case you didn't know, many different ways of, there are a couple different modes. There's like a rules light version that's in here, There's also a tactical version of combat that's in here as well. So there's a lot of different switches you can do if you want to be very light or even crunchier than we did. That's all possible and more. So pick up the game, maybe get it for Roll20. Also support Roll20 for supporting cool shows like this. And thank you all for being here. And I will tell you what, I don't know where you're at in your life or what you're doing, but go listen to some music. Go listen to something nice. Maybe have a milkshake, something like that. And we will catch you all on the flip side. Thank you so very much for being here. And take care, everybody. And we'll see you later. Bye. Hey, go watch Fiasco Fridays here on Roll20 app. Bye.